Go- You're muted.
Welcome, everyone, to the first ever More podcast, where the host and creator of this show likes to mute himself every once in a while. But you know what? We're here, we're there. I am with a great friend of mine, Teague, and he has joined me for the first ever podcast, which is I'll give a little short little thing. This is the Man-O-Rama Podcast, but I abbreviate it to be more because everyone wants more of what men have. Yeah. So thank you for joining me, Teague, and thank you for I'm glad to have you on here, man. You're one of the few people that is very excited to be a part of the Man-O-Rama crew and possibly this podcast. So welcome. I think you're muted.
Now I'm muted. On this show, we like to start out by being muted so we can reconsider what we say for a moment first. It's a manly pause. I'm happy to be here. I am nobody on the internet without you coming in and swooping in and helping out with the great advice. Things on Rumble are going fucking great. I guess a lot of our listeners might know that I got to be on Pop Culture Breakdown, which was really cool. That was fun. Doomcock is an amazing host, an amazing guy. And I saw some of my fellow Man-O-Ramas over there. So, like, when you look at that view count for that show, that can be intimidating, man. And I almost got stage fright. But then I looked up and I saw Gary and Andy, and I'm like, I'm among friends.
You're a man. That's all that matters.
Man among men. And it was fun. And everybody on Man-O-Rama is a lot cooler than some of the people that I've had, some other people I've had in my life. Like, for instance, just saying to one person, I'm going to take my show to Rumble, they're like, that's a problematic right-wing idea. And I'm like, it's a broadcast forum where I'm going to exercise my freedom of speech.
Yeah. So one of the cool things I like about your show, the Saving Star Trek, is you get a shit on Star Trek so much. The new stuff, not the older stuff.
The new Trek, yeah. We love old Star Trek.
Yeah, it's you guys don't really hold back. Every once in a while, I'll jump in with some comedic relief, and I'll be like, "Hey, I have 4,000 producers, and they allowed me to be on the show."
That's not quite enough to be on that show. Star Trek Picard had 23 fucking producers and 11 cast members.
It's crazy, man. Crazy.
Must have been really easy about that show? The line to get food, like at lunch, right? It's like, hey Jerry, do you mind if I go ahead of you and just grab myself a crumpet?
Yeah.
Who would be there? It's just like, do we have food services here? No, we're just gonna order out. We got some menus. It's like being a team.
I remember when the first film project I was on, they had just pizza and Mountain Dew. It was a little independent short film, and they ran out of budget because the director and everyone else didn't know how to budget correctly on some films, and they just pretty much fed us pizza all day, even in the morning. I was like, you guys know there's more good things than just pizza. They're like, yeah, but it's the carbs. It'll make you guys work a lot more. I was like, no, it won't. I'm in the bathroom shitting my brains out because I'm lactose intolerant, but I love pizza. So, but yeah, it was, yeah.
Unless you've had pizza in New York, you have just had Americanized pizza. You have not had the true pizza. Not even Italians have had true pizza, in my opinion. But like, I have made no secret of this. Totally biased New Yorker. I love where I live. I love my town. I love everything about it, and I even love the Jets.
I know. We got to work on that, man. We need to fix the whole Jets thing, dude. I mean, the whole bug
Giants
fumble
aren't
thing.
much better.
You know, I think when people who are Jet fans, they just like to touch butts.
If I like to ram my head into another man's ass. You know what else I like? I like that my. This is, these are all true things. You can Google this. Our team owner was kicked out of Ireland for racist statements, and then
I do remember that.
the remedy for that was to send him to England. They're like, how can he be racist around, other white Anglo-Saxon Protestants? It'll be fine. And then they threw him out for shit talking women, and it happened in 4 months. And he's the guy who runs our team. And make your own decision. We're not here to give medical advice. People do what they want. But like Aaron Rodgers, he didn't take the vaccine, and that was his choice, right? But Aaron Rodgers, is now on the Jets, and the Jets are owned by Johnson & Johnson that make the one vaccine that was the worst of all.
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine that conversation? It's like, Aaron, why didn't you like the owner of the Jets? Why is it that you won't take the COVID injection? Oh, I read some of the papers about your shit product and your attempt at the one-shot COVID shot.
Right.
Everyone has to do what they think is right on that one. We're not giving medical advice or legal advice or financial advice.
I'm neither a lawyer or a doctor. So
right. If you need these things told to you by us, you have bigger problems than that. And I guess I should tell the story of how. Go ahead.
What were you? Yeah, I'll let you finish.
I was going to say the story of how Steve and I first met. I was on another channel where people weren't quite as positive and upbeat, and I was trying to maybe be a force of positivity. And he just plain old reached out to me to cheer me on and tell me that I was doing the right thing by pushing back against just sheer negativity is the only way to put it. And
pretty much in my terms, what?
Go ahead.
And pretty much in my terms is like, look, motherfucker, if you talk shit about me, no.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I was doing was telling the people on the channel that like, we don't really know Rancor Steve that well. Why are we shit talking him? And then I was like, I don't want to be part of this. I'm going to go. And I got a fucking phone call. And after that, I mean, like Rancor Steve has been there for me 200%. When my channel came under attack by scumbags, he told me how to navigate it. He was calling me up. T, maybe you better delete that tweet. I know you're from Queens and all, but this tweet finger thing, and you've just been the best pal. I'm honored to be on the first podcast here.
I will say this: you are. So Man-O-Rama has a lot of Canadians on this show. I've realized. I think I have 3 guys from Canada, and which is all cool. These guys are awesome. And then I got one guy from New Jersey, and me, and then one other guy from California. I think maybe 3, and I have you from New York, which is hilarious because the thing that I love about you is you have the New Yorker mentality. Is like, have you seen the movie The Town?
No.
So, okay, check that movie out if you ever get a chance. Which, by the way, I'm thinking about doing a movie night where we just watch one manly movie and we commentate it, and then it'll be live. And we won't show the movie.
Josie Wales.
Yeah, something like that. That might be in the list.
I love that fucking movie.
It's a good one. And if The Town is going to be on it, and it's about the bank heists in Boston, and there's a scene in there that reminds me of you, and I can't think of the guy's name, but he was.
You're not thinking about Dog Day Afternoon with the guys doing it so he could get a sex change operation?
No.
Was that movie ever ahead of its time or what?
Way ahead. But no, you're the guy who's like, if I come to you and be like, hey, this is what's happening right now, and you be like, whose car are we taking? You don't care. You're just gonna go balls to the walls, like, all right, who am I gonna wreck? And I love that about you. I was talking to Gary about this the other day, and I was like, the thing that like I had to jump on a few shows that you were on there to kind of calm everything down. I was like,
You
well,
saw me getting
hey,
attacked, and you
yeah.
jumped in there to
Well,
help me out. That's the kind of friend Rancor Steve is.
here's the thing. Like I told Gary this. I was like, look, I'm from the East Coast, more the southern side of East Coast, but I'm from the East Coast, so I understand how people from the East Coast are, and especially New Yorkers that are just like, you motherfucker,
You
and
motherfucker.
it's exactly. And I'm like, dude, you can't stop this train that's about to happen. You just let it happen and move on. Like I told a group of people, I was like, the difference between people on the West Coast and East Coast, specifically New York, you can go to New York and say, hey asshole, how you doing? Or you could be like, hey asshole. And they in New York, they would think that's a compliment. If you said
Yeah.
that in California, I'm like, what did I do wrong?
What's going on, asshole?
Do I have my pride flag up right or whatever you're talking about? It's
And we have to get on a subway together, and I don't think they have one. When you put 850 people on one subway car and you're chest to chest with someone, you don't necessarily care who they are, and they could be from any part of the world. This is an international city. There's still certain things that go unsaid, like, "Hey, motherfucker, quit fucking breathing on me," and no one's pissed about that. I was like, "Oh man, sorry, all right," and they face their and you know. And there's announcements on the subway. If you've never been on a New York subway, there's announcements, and like they're pre-recorded, and sometimes they're by celebrities. But I'll never forget this one. Hi, this is Matthew McConaughey. A crowded train is no excuse to touch someone inappropriately. Bing! It's like we already do this, but okay.
I mean, oh man, I remember when I was in what was it? I went to New York. I was homeschooled pretty much all the way up into college, and we did this little history trip. I did a couple actually. I went to one trip. I went to Boston, looked at the whole history of how America became America, and we went to New York, Statue of Liberty. This is when I fell in love with pizza. Teague is right. They make the best pizza.
It's the water.
I had a slice. Mind you, I'm a really small guy. I think I was like 5. I'll have to talk to my mom about this. But I remember I saw the Twin Towers. I saw everything. It was really cool. I think it was
You ain't gonna see
90.
them around no more.
No, you're not gonna. But I remember, I think 95, 96. I think I was in New York.
Me
I got a
too.
pizza
Wow.
pie about this big, just a mother of all pizzas. And I was like, I love pizzas. Now, here's the funny thing. I think I can make a better pizza than New York. I actually do think that.
I think that
I
if you
really
had
do.
New York pizza dough, you would make probably one of the best pizzas anyone's ever had. The thing is that like saying there's the best pizza is like saying like there's like um I don't know, like higher levels of a 10 for a chick. I mean, like it's a little bit local, and you can get like you can walk into a place and just be like, I want pineapple on my pizza, and like 2 people will scoff, but no one will give you a hard time. It's available. You can get anything, anchovies on your pizza. I like a little pepperoni once in a while because I'm a little Italian. What can I tell you? And oh, by the way, you guys were showing off your knives last night,
Oh, no, that was
a couple of nights ago.
Thursday. Yeah, my Rambo knife. Okay, so
But look what I
I
got.
downloaded.
I still have it.
I like it. It's a little pocket knife.
No, it's the Boy Scout knife.
Ooh,
I still have
I
mine.
did. I
I
did.
and I want to say right now, I still live by the Scout code.
There you go.
I
See,
love
that's
Boy
what
Scouts.
matters.
They give you a weapon and they let you play with fire. My first Boy Scout knife was taken away by the Scoutmaster. My father was a New York City cop, and he had a box full of like stuff that he confiscated because he had a thing for knives. He just thought they were cool. So my first Boy Scout knife was actually a switchblade.
Switchblade? Jesus. I remember,
Everyone
okay,
pulled out their knife, and I was like,
so on Man-O-Rama on Thursday, we had Canadian Spider-Man making a glorious bonfire. And
I love
everyone
when it
started
does that.
showing their knives, and Andy was showing his butter knife. I was like, fine, I'll show mine. The look on Canadian Spider-Man's face was holy shit. The Rambo knife that I showed off, the 15-inch blade, I could tell he got a little jealous of the knife, and he brings out a machete. And I was like, okay, this is how we're doing it. We're doing a dick measuring contest.
Yeah, now that's all I could think of was that's not a knife. That's a knife. Like Crocodile Dundee.
Oh yeah.
It's like they come up to rob him and they have switchblades and they're like, what if I don't give you the money? We'll stab you with our knives. That's not a knife. And things like a fucking machete. He's like, no, that's a knife, and they run away.
Do you remember your first knife you ever had?
I just showed it to you. Oh,
That's
my first,
very first
that's
one.
my second knife. My first knife was the switchblade that was taken away. But let me tell you, that was one badass fucking Boy Scout, right? We go camping in New York City, in like a New York City park. It's like that switchblade came in handy.
Nice. I remember I actually have one on me now that is not spring loaded. It's like it pretty much like it pokes me when I put my wallet with my knife at the same time. It's this one right here. It's this guy right here.
There you go.
So it opens up pretty quick.
Yeah, I have a
it's not
utility
spring
knife like
loaded at all. And so it comes in like this, and so it's gonna if it opens up, it pokes my hand whenever I put my wallet in. I was like, oh.
You remember the 007 knives? The ones that's a 007 on the blade? That was like my second knife. That was pretty sweet. I would buy another one of those. Are they on Amazon?
They probably are. My favorite knife is so the problem that I have is you have like the food porn. Have you heard of this term before, T? Food porn?
Food porn, yes. And
Where
there's
you
also weather porn too.
That one, so I get on the whole what a lot of people call knife porn. And if I look at one knife, I'll start, or like even gun porn, I'll just look at guns or knives, and I'll get to the point where I'm like, I want every single knife I just looked at. And I had the choice of getting a ballistic vest or in case I go to the gun range or whatnot. Whatever I need that for. Who knows? Who knows? No one has to know but me. And I had the choice of that or the rainbow knife from Last Blood. And I was like, I'm taking the Last Blood knife. It is probably, to me, it's probably the best knife I've ever seen. Hold up.
Up to you. Oh, now I can scroll through these. Now, these are the Amazon 007 knife brought up this decision here.
Oh, I have that one right there. If you
Which
scroll,
one?
No, down right underneath that one right there.
This one?
Nope, the other one.
I like this one.
Yeah, that's the one that I have.
That's the one.
It
pricks your finger though. Because I was thinking
it's because it's not spring loaded, so it's really easy to open up. I like it. It's a good knife for about $30. It served me pretty well.
I got a butterfly knife in the table, but that in my drawer. But that's another story. Look at this one, $217 fucking dollars. That's an expensive knife. It's just carbon graphic, Black Mamba V2 bowler style, M30 steel blade, CAL V4 titanium scale, ceramic ball bearing, flipper knife, brushed DLC, open back design, deep pocket carry.
So
I like the honeycombing.
Disney Sheepherder, who is a great supporter of the show, and many other shows I've been on.
Great guy.
He says Benchmade makes a great knife, Rancor Steve. They do. I'll agree to that.
We're just checking out the Amazon selection here. This
and
one's looks more decorative. This doesn't look that functional to me. I mean, it's probably functional, but this one looks a little too fancy for me.
It's a nice show. Like, look at me. It's very flamboyant. I'm not a big fan of those blades.
Is this what you would wear to like a country music concert, right? When you go to see like
Tim
Name a
McGraw.
country music. Tim, you want to hear something funny? There's a connection. Tim McGraw's father was with the New York Mets. He was Tug McGraw. Bet you didn't know that.
No, I didn't know
Tug,
that.
Tug McGraw was the closer for the 1969 Miracle Mets.
SP4H, who is a great wrench and great supporter of this show, he said Gerber made some decent ones as well. Here's the thing. I really like Gerber. And I think it's hilarious that Gerber is the name of the knife and it's like also made for kids' foods. But I actually had I ended up with a couple of Gerber knives, and then I ended up with one. You can see in one, I think it's in the Halloween trailer that Gary and I made last year. Yeah, last year. And it was one of the I had the Rambo knife in that one, and I had a couple of the knives, and I had this one I wrapped it around with paracord, and it's pretty much their design of what helicopters in the I think Army or in one of the military branches has. They have that knife, and it's a good knife. I like it. I just love knives, dude.
You know what? It's the harmless hobby and a useful tool. There he is, Tug McGraw, Tim McGraw's father. And it's back in the day. Like this is like, did you know that if your last name is like MC something, like people who like, and the computers have changed all this. If your name is M, like McDonald, they used to space it, the Mick and the Donald. As you can see, Tug McGraw here, there's a space between the Mick and the
I
Graw.
never knew that.
That's grammatically correct. Also, people whose name are O'Sullivan, they have lost part of their name because your computer and your credit card usually can't put the apostrophe on it. So Irish people don't really complain about cultural minimization and cultural appropriation. They're okay with it. Like you can name soap for filthy people after us. You can name a highly sugary cereal that will probably be bad for your kid after us. And we're totally cool with it. What can I tell you? Irish people are weird.
Yeah. I will say, I'll pull up this chat. Maria Kitty said, Steve looks like an actor, but I'll have to Google his name. Good luck trying to find my last name. What?
Is it Moira Kitty? Would you pronounce it?
Now,
Moira?
Let's settle this real quick. I'm
Put it in the chat.
Names. If I get all right.
I'll be back in a minute.
Names, no problem. If I get names wrong on this show, and if it's just because I just don't really know how to, I don't know why, but I just tend to mess up people's names. You can ask Gary. He gets a kick out of it. And it's one of those things where, I just like to mess up names. Not really I just do for some reason. I don't know why, but there it is. But you could, if I get your name wrong, I apologize. But I think it's Moria, something like that. I don't know. I need to look up on Picton Phonics. That's for sure. Yeah, you can find me on IMDb.
How much should you tip a pizza delivery person?
Well, how much was it?
The pizza's $21.75.
$21.75. Let's see in the chat. How much should Teague tip?
It's already been done. Let's see if they endorse what I tipped. I tipped $4 to go to an even 5. Seemed fair.
Ooh. I don't know. $10. I always tip
That's
a little.
Great. No, the pizza's 21. I'm not 50% tip. I'm gonna start delivering fucking pizza right now. Hold on, Laura.
Oh gosh, hold up, Teague. Yes. It's Jeff said 25 or 27.50 if she's cute. $5, sure. I don't know.
25 or what? What is 27?
It's 27. This is what he said. I'll put up the chat. He goes 25 or 27.50 if she's cute. That
How
is
did they
true.
know? How did they know that the pizza delivery guy is in fact the pizza delivery chick? Yes,
Well, how do you know? It's Pride Month, baby.
it's Friday. I can't tell them how to identify. And you know what? I'm seeing these. And I'm not against anybody loving anybody they love, and God knows that I am a liberal New Yorker in a sense that I have to not get murdered by the people I live around, right? So, like, I have like my New York ways, right? So Steve has never called me out for that, by the way, and he is totally cool on that one. But you know, we've had it good and we've had it bad. For instance, like you would think that voting out Nancy Pelosi's number one endorser would have gotten things better, but the person who replaced her was by get this AOC.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Maybe dumb as bricks, but she's got a butt.
She's cute looking. Well, I did provide photographic proof that she is 4 foot 10. I've met her 3 or 4 times. She's nice in person. I did not dislike her as a person. And as far as like the only thing you're really supposed to care about in this country, bringing home the bacon, because she talked a lot of shit about other stuff. But as far as bringing home the bacon to her district, she didn't get it done.
Oh yeah.
She got sent back up to the Bronx where they'll put up with not getting any government services. But Queens should be represented by people from Queens. Call me crazy.
What if I join? I want to say thank you for joining PDB. Yeah. I may not. And Andy Masterson. Ooh, we got some heavy hitters up in here. You know how heavy hitters are. You know, you guys lost in 2004. I won't.
But drug addict A-Rod. How many times did drug addict A-Rod strike out that piece of shit? Dude, as a Latino, can I just say, thank God him and Jennifer Lopez broke up so they weren't representing every single fucking Latino person in the world and just getting things.
To Ben Affleck.
Dude, they were getting things just because they were dating each other. They were getting financial benefit just from dating each other. And it's like mutual prostitution or something. It's like, why is J-Lo singing like the Sunday Night Football song when she's irrelevant on some networks? Yeah, totally. What was the last song or movie she had that was relevant? Why is Jennifer Lopez relevant? And drug addict cheater who had the nerve to stand next to a great man like Derek Jeter at A-Rod? Fuck him.
Hold up. PDB actually has a good one. For every sport, they should just make a separate league for all dopers. You're not.
I agree.
I agree.
I like that idea.
So that just means A-Rod, Aaron, or I think it's Aaron Judd, any of the New York Yankees, the Seattle Seahawks.
Wait, let's see. Probably Big Papi because we know
he's never been.
He didn't get caught. He didn't get caught.
He's never been. I think he took it like a couple times.
Lance Armstrong could be on that team
if he can find his one ball.
Let's see, famous PED user. It's that scene in the movie Ted where he's like, "That's Lance Armstrong's nut." All right, famous athletes who use steroids. You ready? Here we go. Alex Rodriguez.
Yes.
Barry Bonds, Mark McGuire, Jose Canseco, Sammy Sosa, or since I'm Cuban, I should say Sammy Sosa, Jason Giambi, Lance Armstrong, Manny Ramirez, and low-life piece of shit Roger Clemens, and 15 more rows. Rafael Palmeiro, Andy Pettit, Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson was on like horse steroids. Ryan Brown, David Ortiz, Gary Sheffield, Anderson Silva, Mahel Taha. Then there's still like hundreds of more rows.
Okay, so
Derek Jeter ain't there though.
Because so here's the problem I have with steroids. All right, we'll get into this little conversation here. So they popped Julian Edelman when he had the knee injury, and then he had to take a whole year off for the New England Patriots, which is probably one of my favorite wide receivers. and no homo, but he's a pretty good looking dude. He is like
So
he's
it's
got the
Patrick
hair.
Mahomes.
It's yeah. It's so the problem that I have with this is when he got popped and he's like, you're suspended for 4 games or however long it was that you can't play because you've been on steroids for your knee. If you have an injury and you have to like recover from it, take the steroid that actually will help you recover. And he actually used it in a way that's not gonna make him look all jacked up. Like Conor McGregor, he is on steroids. I know that for a fact. That dude is jacked out of his mind for his body. Now, then you get to Peyton Manning, he had how many neck injuries? He had like, or
Yeah,
neck
he was.
surgeries, like 2 or 4, something like that.
I don't think his use of HGH was illegal. I believe the league said he could use it to heal. I'm not
But
sure.
here's the problem I have. Then Edelman takes some steroids to help his knee.
Right.
And then he gets like, oh, this, you can't do this, only because he's part of the Patriots. And I'm like, you can't say, okay, you can do this, no problem, but you can't do this because you're part of this organization. And it's one of those things where it's like, it's kind of a sticky situation. Like Big Poppy, like he would get drug tested every single time and he would just test negative for steroids.
I think
And also, if you look at Big Poppy through his whole career with the Twins and Red Sox, his body never changed. He got fatter.
no, he got fatter. This is my opinion. I think this is what Alex Rodriguez and Big Poppy did. I think when they were home in countries like Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic, where you could go to the drugstore and buy fucking human growth hormones and buy fucking steroids, they call it bolo. He just fucking took them. He just saw that he bought drugs. With Big Poppy, it's one thing, and I have a completely different view of Big Poppy, who was a Red Sox and never a Yankee and a Yankee killer. I respect him a lot more than I respect Alex Rodriguez, who I consider a phony and a shitbag. And I don't think he had the right to stand on that field with a great man like Derek Jeter. That's just how I feel.
Yeah, that's the problem I have with sports. I think that if you're going to take steroids in sports, I don't know. Does it really have any effect on anything? I don't know. I don't give 2 craps about it. If
It increases your visual acuity.
Yeah.
So if you can see the baseball that much, here's the thing though. We haven't seen home run records like we had when they knew that all the baseball players were juicing, and they didn't give a fuck about those baseball players either. Because we know what that was. They knew from wrestling what too much juicing can do to a person. Jason Giambi had a growth in his fucking brain, is the rumor, never confirmed, but he was out for 2 weeks and he had a cyst removed, and the rumor was it was growing on his pituitary glands. And how many of these athletes have children who have problems? It's very, very likely, and I'm not saying that I'm not wishing that on anyone, but it's very, very likely that some of these early steroids are the reason why some of these people have children who have strange and obscure problems.
Yeah, did you remember when? What was it? It was 2000. It was when, oh crap, who was it? It was Red Sox and I think Cardinals. When it was the last World Series that Big Poppy was in.
Oh, what? Wait. That was far. I think that was after 2000. Let me Google 2000 World Series.
It was 2000.
That was the Yankees.
2013.
2000 World Series, wasn't it the Yankees?
It's
Yankees over the New York Mets. It was the Subway Series. I was sure of that one.
No, it's 2013.
Oh. Yeah. By the way, I live like right near the Mets Stadium. It's a good time out, but they're just not. They're just not the winningest team in baseball, are they?
No. I want to say it's 2013. It's when David Ortiz had the highest batting percentage. You take the Red Sox batting percentage and then you take to Dave Ortiz. Dave Ortiz's batting average was higher than the entire team of Red Sox. And it was the last game when the Red Sox finally won that they just pitched. They made him walk it because they're like, he's the one guy who I'd never want to pitch against if I ever was a pitcher.
Mariano Rivera could make him look foolish, but that was about the only guy. That was about the only. But sometimes he caught up to him.
But David Ortiz still got him. He still got him. There's every once in a while he got him, and it was a little embarrassing, but it was. I think 2004 set the standards of. I mean, you have Barry Bonds, but that dude, he was on so much. That's the thing I'm trying to say is
he grew 3 hat sizes over his career. That is serious steroid use.
Look at guys who take steroids like Barry Bonds. That's a little excessive. Kick him out. But if you need to take it to kind of heal your body a little bit, I'm all for it. Like,
I agree.
I've taken some. I've had knee injuries. I've taken some steroids. I know I said earlier I never have. I've taken some just to heal my body injuries just from ski or snowboarding accidents. But if you look at his body, it's David Ortiz doesn't really, and we have someone else, Rod Thunderheart. How are you doing?
Hey, Rod.
Welcome to the podcast.
When we're like this, I like to look down and over at the person like the beginning of the Brady Bunch. Like, hey, Rod.
We are talking about steroids, sports, and everything, man.
Oh,
how you doing?
Right there.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Welcome to the first ever podcast for More, a Man-O-Rama podcast where we talk about whatever you want. And eventually we're going to be on Rumble. I'm going to figure that shenanigans out. But right now we're on YouTube. And thanks to everybody in the chat and everybody who's watching.
PDB's comment is killing me. If you pay $700 for courtside seats, the guy should fly.
Wait, where is it? Where is it?
It's the bottom comment. I think it's the most recent one.
This one? Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm a huge Boston sports fan. Like, I've been a Celtics fan. You said it the right way.
Boston.
What? Boston?
You said Boston.
There you go. I had aunt and uncles that lived in Boston. Yeah. Jesus, that's a big. I made a tri-tip earlier. Oh, it's so good. I'm letting it rest. But I've been a Celtics fan for about 20-some years and a Patriots fan. Now, here's the thing. When someone says, oh, you're a Patriots fan, yours is a bandwagon. And I was like, ask me what quarterback I started being a fan of. They're like, all right, who's your quarterback? Tom Brady? No, Drew Bledsoe.
Drew Bledsoe. Nice.
Yeah.
I saw Drew Bledsoe get his fucking ass handed to him at City Field, and that's the game they brought in Brady, and it started then. The Jets were once good. It was a really long time ago.
Drew Bledsoe was one of my favorite quarterbacks. I was like, dang it. And Tom Brady came in. He was like, hey guys, like, we're gonna throw the ball this way. Not digging on Tom Brady. He is a genius.
I hate him.
He's the goat.
I've hated him ever since Deflategate.
Listen, if you hate Tom Brady, here's the thing. I understand why. He's everyone that we hated in high school rolled up into one. The rich kid, the jock, the smart guy, the guy who gets the girl.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I couldn't do. I'm actually the only thing you can be happy about is that Giselle finally decided, fuck it, he's not good enough for me.
So here's the funny thing about Deflategate. And on this show, we just
third straight cheating scandal for him.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah, no shit.
Guys, okay, so I'm going to get a little science on this. And my wife didn't even know this. And you guys should know this because you guys deal with snow and everything. Do you know what ideal gas law is? So during the Deflategate, that's what happened. There was, I forget what the temperature was and the rain. So if you because actually the Colts balls were actually deflated also. They didn't want to tell that. So, but then
I believe it.
So, but here's
I
the other
don't
thing.
disagree with that, but
The
on.
next season, when they actually regulated the balls with the Patriots, he started throwing better than he did during that game. So that's the only thing that makes me think like, okay,
So why didn't
it's
he do
ideal
better?
gas law. What?
Mhm.
He won 2
Why
more
didn't he
Super
do
Bowls
better?
after that, man. Listen, Tom Brady's the greatest football player of all time, as much as I dislike what he did to my team.
I'll say he's the greatest quarterback. I wouldn't say he's the
Yeah.
best football player.
I don't know if anyone has like the kind of rings. I mean, he's thrown like how
I
many
don't know.
miles? How many miles has he passed for? I bet you it's a lot. John
Yeah.
Elway was like 50.
Who's the guy from the Steelers? He played for USC. He's a Samoan guy. Huge
56 miles he's passed for.
Jesus.
56 fucking miles.
Anyone in the chat, if you know who the player, defensive guy, I think he's a linebacker for the Steelers. He's not playing now, but he was a Samoan guy. Huge dude, had hair, long hair.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name now. Malalagu? No, that's not right.
It was Troy
Disney
Polamalu.
Sheepherder says, look it up. Okay,
It's
there.
Troy Polamalu.
Troy Polamalu.
And he made a lot of money off that hair. He got a shampoo commercial.
That dude right there would scare the ever-living shit out of me if I played. I was like, I ain't going to block him. I'm 5'4". This guy is huge. I watched him. I went to a USC game and watched him play. That dude was crazy.
Just as a side note,
I bet.
the guy who is I think he's champion WWE champion right now. He's also a cousin of The Rock.
Yeah.
He's got the guy with the hair. He's got the hair. The dreads.
Yes.
Well, anyway, like The Rock, he used to play football, and I was absolutely shocked because this at the CFL, the Canadian Football League, the Edmonton Eskimos, they're now called the Elks because they've fallen victim to the complaints to the complaint squad.
The Cleveland Guardians,
like and the Washington or the Washington Redskins and
I actually do like their new name though. Washington Football Club does sound kind of cool. I mean,
if there's a football and they're gonna go out there and play it, they're gonna play it.
Well, it's sort of European sounding, but like, what are you gonna do? Like, they've had so many failed teams in other sports that like there've been a bunch of teams through Washington, and if you pick up a decent name, it's probably already been used and attached to a failing tradition.
Well,
the Washington Senators were the worst team in baseball.
Well, the Edmonton Eskimos, and Eskimos is actually a mistranslation. It's actually based from French, but it's what the French actually called the Inuit, which actually it translates to eaters of raw meat. And honest to God, I can't think of a cooler name for a football team than eaters of raw meat.
Good name for a punk band too.
Yeah,
there's Troy Polamalu.
But yeah, okay, yeah. But like the Eskimos, the current WWE champ, or at least the Samoan guy who's a cousin of The Rock. Again, his name is just escaping me because I've been out of it for so long. Anyway, he played for the Edmonton Eskimos for a whole season, and he actually he had a record of running of yards ran back, for just like the brief time that he appeared, and then I was at an Eskimos game, and then he showed up, and like I just about crapped my pants. I mean, like, because he was also competing in WWE at the time. Well, he still is, and like I'm just kind of like, and like it also shows the humility of the guy too, in that, you know, I mean, because like let's face it, like the Canadian Football League is, I mean, like as far as I'm concerned, it should be way bigger than it is, you know, and like, you know, I mean, like, you know, it has like the three biggest differences between American football and Canadian football, you know, which is like, you know, I mean, unlike you guys in the CFL, there's only 3 downs, and then like you got to give the ball up to the other team. You know,
the field's a lot wider.
That's the field's the field's 10 meters wider. Yes, exactly. You know, but you know, and then also too, like, you know, like if there's like a missed punt, like if the other team misses it, if the one team misses it, the other team can catch the ball and run it back. You know,
Wow.
which I mean, I mean, you can't do that in the American Football League. You know,
it depends what year. American Football League rules change so frequently that you're always, as a Jet fan, my team breaks all rules and never does anything right. So I know
because I like to touch butts, man. Let's all call what it is. You guys like butts. And
when Brett Favre was here, he was big on touching butts, and like that's why we traded him away. He was harassing the shit out of the entire staff.
Because it's the Wrangler jeans, man. He's all like, I want. Here's the thing.
Did you see what he did? Did you see what fucking Brett Favre did?
What?
He got.
Tell me how much you're emotionally damaged by him.
Well, first of all, at the last Jet game I was at, he threw 6 interceptions, but almost as bad as that. I do
remember that.
Almost as bad as that. He started a pressure campaign at his old college where they were going to build a building and name it after him for their football team. And he started to impose a crazy scam onto it to make money. And it got so bad that he got caught up in a political investigation of their governor, who was dirty.
I remember hearing about that. Yeah.
He stole food stamp money.
Yeah.
He's a fucking lowlife. The poorest of the fucking poor. Brett Favre, millionaire, has to steal from the poor. He's going to fucking jail for that's federal money. That's why you don't see him around. And fuck you for stealing from the poorest of the poor too. That's rude. Whether you believe it or not.
100%, man. 100%.
Anyway, Rod, I mean, did we get right the cousin of The Rock there? It's a Tamura. Is that it?
No.
Tamina or
no, he's got a regular name.
Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns, that's him. Yeah, he showed up at a everyday CFL football game, and like, you know, and like he was on the big screen and all that, and I'm just kind of like, whoa, you know, I just like he just came out of the blue because like it was just kind of like because Eskimos were celebrating their something or other thing, and like, you know, even though he only played like 1 season and he did some really good shit and all that, but like I'm just, you know, I was just kind of like, again, like I said, it shows the humility of the guy to just like, you know, I mean, and it means that Edmonton Eskimos live in his heart too. You know, I'm just kind of like, what a guy, you know. He was, you know, I mean, he was fighting for the championship. He didn't have it at the time, but like, you know, I mean, he was in contention for it, and like, again, wow, you know.
I'm really shallow. When I got on the big screen at Yankee Stadium, all that went through my head is this validates that my girlfriend is really fucking hot. No, this validates my girlfriend is really fucking hot.
Are you kidding? That's not shallow. That's just kind of like.
She's my ex-girlfriend now, but the point was at the time.
Oh, well, no, but at the time, hey, you know, it's like, hey, this is mine. Look at this, guys.
She's a little too old for me now. She's a little old for me now.
No. Yeah.
What, is she 100 years old?
No.
I'm only kidding.
You gotta watch Bingo.
I'm the one who's 100 years old. I drank from a false grail. I drank from Steve's grail.
No, but it shows where your brain was too. Like, good for you.
This is what keeps me young.
That's the cup of a carpenter. Yeah, so Steve and I are actually both immortal Highlanders.
So here's a question I have. So since Rod, you do wrestling, who's your favorite WWE or WWF or WF? They have a whole bunch of different things. I can't keep track of them.
Who's your favorite fucking wrestler right now?
Thank you, Teague.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, like that's what I said. I mean, like I haven't kept up with it. I guess to a small degree, Roman Reigns. Again, simply because for what I mentioned, about like, shoot, man, the guy goes to the guy literally takes time out of his schedule to through wrestling, because wrestling's fucking busy. You're like wrestling like 300 days out of the year, and like he still literally made time out of his schedule to come by and like, I mean, he probably went into Vince McMahon's office and just said, "Hey man, I've got a small, I'm doing a small thing for like the Edmonton Eskimos CFL football team up north. I've got to take time off for that." And like, they gave him the time to do that and like to come up there, and like, so no, I mean, like, screw the fans, I mean, honestly too, like wrestling fans, ever since they turned on Bret Hart way back in '97,
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of faith in wrestling fans ever since then,
Teague, who would be your? Okay, here's a better question I have.
Okay.
Rod. This guy.
There we go. This is Roman Reigns.
He's the real Aquaman, right there.
He looks like Jason Momoa. Yeah,
he does look like him totally.
Here's one picture where he looks just like him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I will say this. I'm not a big fan of the whole goatee thing, but this dude, I'm not going to say no to him on the goatee. No.
He's got it at the have any facial hair you like, but he's got it at the painful length. It still itches when it's that short. I've had a beard. When it grows into a certain length, what you do is you put a little bit of first of all, there's liniments and oils that take out the itch, but if you don't have anything else, a little bit of hair conditioner will make your beard itch less. Takes the itch right out.
I've never had a beard.
You're married. You have a beard. We know what you're really like. Bearding behind that wife of yours.
So yeah.
What, Rod? Who's the first wrestler that you watched and you're like, oh my gosh, I love this sport?
Oh, that's easy. Well, there's a bunch. I mean, like, this is like beyond anybody, because I'm pretty sure nobody in wrestling, nobody would know this. But like I'm talking in Stampede Wrestling, I was like a big fan of Steve DeSalvo. But I mean, really, honestly, like, as wrestling moved on, I mean, like in the '80s, like, oh yeah, who didn't get caught up in the love for Hulk Hogan, But I mean, like, but then like, and then like the Ultimate Warrior, and then like it kind of sort of moved on to the Ultimate Warrior. I will, no, but I mean, like, as I got more and more into the sport, I mean, I realized and knew that, like, the Ultimate Warrior was famous for just simply being a big muscle man who potatoed, and that was the term, potatoed. Which is like he hits somebody, and then like he literally hits somebody, and like whereas like in wrestling, you're supposed to like. Like Bret Hart said, and like that's my number one wrestler. Like Bret Hart said, he said, look at my punches, look at them, I connected with each one of them, but I didn't hurt him, and like that's, and like that's comes down to like the art of wrestling. But like it really looks like he's like literally drilling him, but then like he's not. I mean, like he's not actually like he's like, like because you connected, you hear the slap, but like. He doesn't hurt him, But like the Warrior, on the other hand, he did, And the Warrior, when he was fighting Andre the Giant, there was actually a lot of times too, where like because Andre was a real, Andre was very very big on the game. He knew how to wrestle. He knew how to how it worked, and
I have a question.
okay.
SD Jones, underappreciated genius.
Um,
You know, he was one of those like people who like the greats like Andre would just or tomato can wrestlers. We need to remember our tomato can
okay,
wrestlers.
it's been a long, right.
SD Jones was the ultimate tomato can.
Okay,
But you know what? Without
Yeah.
tomato cans, there are no heroes.
yeah.
Teague, who would be the first wrestler that you watched that you were like, oh my gosh, I'm in love with the sport?
Jimmy Superfly Snuka. Dating myself a little there, but Jimmy Superfly Snuka. And his work with the Angry Samoans was amazing.
So I got into wrestling in the 90s.
Okay.
Cole Stone. We know who you like.
The Sting, he was my favorite. The Undertaker, those guys. I was never a big fan of The Rock. He was fun. He was flashy, entertaining, but Steve Austin was like my go-to.
No, that's right. Yeah.
Remember
he was the one that did the whole beer thing,
that was
right?
a long time ago.
He did the whole beer thing where he smashed beer cans and started drinking.
That was him. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude,
no,
I've
like Bret
watched
Hart
some of his stuff now. He's become, if you watch his recent videos, he did a show where he's like a challenge show where a bunch of guys and women would like do a bunch of heavy lifting stuff. You can tell his body's just deteriorating. He's like, I can't do this anymore. I'll just do. But The Undertaker was one of my favorite ones. There was a few that I liked of
Mean Mark Calloway.
Oh man. China. I would never want to get in a ring with her. She would beat the living shit out of me. But that brought me into the whole MMA realm.
Wail on me.
Rest in peace, China.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then watching pro wrestling, it got me into the whole MMA. And I made the mistake of, before I got married, I was dating one girl and I watched The Warrior. If you guys haven't watched that, I know that's going to be on the list for a movie night that we're going to do for the Man-O-Rama stuff. I pretty much have branched out different things for Man-O-Rama, a multi-universe thing. I went MCU on this shit with my stuff. I'm planning a podcast, which this is a podcast where all the guys from Man-O-Rama, whoever can make it on, can join in, whether it's just be me or someone else. Awesome. I came up with I think it was it you, Teague, that came up? I think it was you that came up with this idea to do a movie night. And
I think
good idea.
Yeah.
Wait. Do you like the idea?
Oh yeah.
No, that's a great idea.
Then it was my idea.
Yeah.
No,
it's a shit idea. No. So the first movie, I think in July, we're gonna do on a Saturday night or something like that. I don't know what day we're gonna do. It's once a month or something like that, or every other week. We're gonna do the first movie is Tropic Thunder. So if you guys are into Tropic Thunder, which will be hosted Rumble.
No, I got that. Awesome.
One condition. What? Leading up to Independence Day, you have to come on my channel and watch Independence Day ID4 with us.
Okay.
Which version? Tell me you got the extended version.
Are we watching the sequel? Are we? You Jets?
No, we're not watching the fucking sequel. There's only one Independence Day movie. Although I will say this, the way people are accepting some of this Star Wars shit that's so bad, maybe Roland Emmerich should write Star Wars, because honestly, Moonfall was a halfway decent movie till the end. People would fight so hard to say, "Oh, the Force could do that," and you're just a fight. Like people would have stand for Moonfall if it was called Star Wars Moonfall.
So back to what I was trying to get to, and I was plugging in another show idea. No, it's all good. It's me. It's all good. Whatever. I'm the short bus baby. So I watched The Warrior one night. I ended up buying it. There's only 2 movies I ended up buying without seeing it in theaters. Is The Warriors and John Wick. And then John Wick, I'm like,
Well-
I'm sold. I love this movie so much. It's good to go. And they've actually got greenlit to do a 5th John Wick. I was like, fuck yeah.
Oh yes, I know.
I
I
don't
thought
think
so.
it's going to be Keanu though. I think he's going to be
No,
the
he's
guy.
in it.
I think he's like the high table now though. Like he's
No,
the
it's-
Continental. Oh, he's going to be.
No,
because
it's.
they set up the sequel at the end of the other one. Did
Have you seen Rod? Have you seen John Wick 4?
Oh yeah.
Okay. If Gary's
awesome.
watching this, spoiler, or anyone who's watching this,
If you haven't
spoiler,
seen the end, tune back in a minute.
they don't show the death date of John Wick.
No, but they
Yes.
do show the franchise
exactly.
seeming to be passed on to the blind Asian dude, and we see him being stalked by the.
That's
girl whose
another.
father
That's
I know,
another
killed.
spin. So
It's a small
that is
teaser.
going
It
to be
might be-
another spin-off.
Oh,
Yeah,
that would be
exactly.
cool.
That's-
So
that'll be
twice,
that,
Yeah.
the
in other
te-
words,
the spin-off.
twice as much John Wick.
So Keanu Reeves
fucking
is
thrilled.
doing John Wick 5, from what I understand. And I looked into it and I contacted a bunch of people, and he's like,
Well, why wouldn't he?
he-
I mean,
I
it's
know
it's a successful man. Like, you know.
Well, when they asked Keanu Reeves, like, hey, when he did the last Matrix movie, he didn't really want to do it. He's like, it's just a paycheck, whatever. The only franchise he wants to do now in the only movies is the John Wick movies. So from my understanding is they want to go up to, I last read that the director and the creator of this is great filmmaker. And he said, I would like to do 9 John Wick films. But he also said that we opened this up, and a lot of times when you do movies, you don't like the world of that movie has its limits. They open this up to where it's like it's endless. It's who you picking now.
That's Keanu Reeves doing what he actually really loves.
When he was 19, but really 53. That dude is old, but he looks young.
He might be older than 53.
I think he might be 56. I'm
He's
not sure.
yeah. No.
But
You're right. You're right. I remember he's a year older than me. I remember reading that a long
He
time ago.
makes
Like,
all of
way
us
back.
look like everyone looks like shit for their age compared to fucking Keanu Reeves. But he's back doing what he loves. Him and Johnny Depp should form a band. I'd say that
No,
fucking band.
no, because it's
Johnny
all
Depp
gonna be
can
all
play guitar.
hippie and all this shit.
I think the kind of heavy-
Depp's pretty fucking good. Haven't you seen that? Haven't you
Depp
seen
is
that Christian Dior ad? Holy shit, man!
No, he's good. I'm just making a joke.
Yeah,
They can
you know,
do something
no.
together. But
Johnny
I
Depp
know
can
they're doing a whole series. John Wick, all 4 of the John Wick movies are going to be the movie lounge or whatever they are.
Be around. Give me 5 seconds.
I did a whole I
can hear you.
callback to a show I used to create with the GOAT, and he was the producer called The Movie Lounge. Wow. Anyways, so when I watched The Warrior, I told the girl I was dating at the time, before I was married, I said, I want to get into MMA. And I talked to a whole bunch of people, and I was at the perfect age where I could do it. I was, I think, 23, 24. But then I talked to other people who were coaches for MMA, and they said the amount of money you have to put in to actually sponsor yourself, get yourself through it, it's not worth it. I was like, all right. And they said, you have the perfect body to fight in the lightweight. I trained with other MMA fighters. I'm like, dude, you're actually pretty good at this. And I was like, yeah, but they said you're a little bit too old. I was like, what? They're like, yeah, you're a little too old for this game. Because if you look at it, Conor McGregor's 35, 34, 36, somewhere around there. He's around my age.
Yeah,
and
so you'll be like 37 by the time you train up to that level of devastating power, right?
Yeah. And by the time you get into it and you get into the octagon, which is on the big screen, it's not worth it. So I was like, and they said, one of the coaches said, "All right, I'll train you, but do you have any problems?" I was like, "Well, my knees." It's like, "Nope, not gonna deal with it." I was like, "Damn it!"
Do you remember?
So
I'm sorry.
Your
go ahead.
what? Your knees?
yeah, I have my right knee. I think I have arthritis already. So I was on a ski trip and I almost tore the ACL and MCL. My tendons in my right knee are loose, and it's so whenever the weather changes, my knee, like if it's hot, my knee's actually a little bit fine. It's no problem. But when it's cold, my knee actually grinds against each other, like the bones of it. And so when I was working with Gary, he's like, "I think you have arthritis." And I went to the doctor and he's like, you probably have a very mild case of arthritis. And I was like, "Damn." He's
Welcome
like,
to
"How
old
old are you?"
age.
I was like, "Yeah." So I have loose tendons in my right knee, which causes my knee to have a lot of problems. Cause so here's like when you're skiing, you're like this. And then the accident, my right knee twisted like this. And so it stretched the tendon in it. So it's pretty much like like this way, the front of my foot this way, this way. And so
Ugh.
it stretched out all the tendons in it. So when it healed, it was all loose. And so I can't do much like MMA fighting or anything in that. And I was like, "Oh man."
You've
So
heard
Well,
it
you
here
could.
first,
You just
people.
got to protect it. That's all.
yeah.
You heard it here first,
That'd be
people.
my angle.
Ranker Steve is loose and he won't fight.
I'll shut up,
Can
man.
Let me just tell you a quick MMA story. Is this my buddy has not missed a day of working out since like 8th grade, and he's in the 300 lift club and stuff like that. And he was like, when this first started like 20 years ago, he was like, in his prime, and he had the money to do it because he had a great career and he was making like 300 grand a year. And he was going to do MMA and like he was going to go to the tryout, and his wife was like, "I'll divorce you if you do this because you can get killed."
Jeez.
Huh.
And then he ended up, by the way, he divorced her.
Huh.
Other reasons down the line, but I said drop her.
So
right
did he
there.
enter it then? If he divorced her, then
he divorced her for other reasons later on. But I was like, "Dude, your wife's a bitch. Get rid of her. That's uncool. You'll kick Royce Gracie's ass."
Do you remember when I told you that I didn't tell you, but like on Doomcox has said this before. He calls me the master of the internal martial arts.
Who? You?
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
you
what.
are.
That's
I like
what.
it.
Yeah.
He calls me that crazy wild man who screams about Star Trek. No, he was very nice actually. He called me Admiral Teague, which is awesome. And he addressed me as Admiral, which was really cool. He didn't call me Teague too much. Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Dimmock. If you remember on Bloodsport, Jean-Claude Van Damme. That's real. Dimmock. Like hitting somebody on their joints or on their, or like,
What was the one with Vincent
the-
D'Onofrio and Rutger Hauer where they played that crazy sport?
Well, you mean Blind Fury?
The sport was called jugging. That's about as much. It was really violent. No, just like it was almost just like a scrap. It was fictional. It was like I think a post-apocalyptic future, but it's a badass movie.
Oh, okay.
I'll find out the name. Hang on.
So
Cyborg?
I just looked up. What?
All right.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Who? How? What? I just found out who Conor McGregor's facing next.
Who's he
And
facing
it
next?
is Michael
West.
Chandler. Kanye West, God.
Kanye probably thinks he could do it. He's a fucking idiot.
He's a smart idiot. I'll give him that. But no,
He's
it's
a
going to
smart
be
idiot,
Michael
yes.
Chandler. That's his
Smart idiot?
Supposedly, that's his next fight.
I have to agree with that because anyone who could go on an intolerant and hateful rant and be given $25 million to shut up. I mean, did they maybe incentivize the rant with that? Possibly. Might just be that Adidas threw money in front of someone too dumb not to take it.
I want to give a shout out to Snowdub who joined in the chat. Congrats. Welcome.
My man,
Welcome to the
Snowdub.
podcast. I know,
Isn't
right?
he-
We got some heavy hitters
thought
in the
he was
chat,
streaming.
man. He's about to.
Snowdub is the
okay.
man.
Okay.
By the way, I got to get Snowdub's link in here. I'll paste it into the chat later. But anybody who likes gaming, this is one gamer chick that everyone should probably consider following, and you should consider having her on your show. Cult Classic Cage calls herself the last of the tomboys. She's unapologetically cool. Check out some of her stuff. Watch a couple of her rants. Her rant on the Dove models was amazing. She's like, fuck you, you make ice cream. Of course you want people to look this way.
I thought you were going to be like, here's a link to Dylan Mulvaney.
Yeah. You know,
Sir, how does it feel like owning Bud Light? Do you like chicks now? Or
now, do they have a contract with baseball? Like, if you go to a Met game, do you have to have a Bud Light? You know what I mean? Like, they might have like some insurance on the, because I saw sales are down 26%.
At least
you and Mets, man.
they're
if you
You go to
losing
Boston,
billions.
it's all same. Yeah.
The weird thing to me about that is it would seem to be something that would be done during Pride Month. And what made people angry was it was done during the month of the woman. Well,
Hey, you guys know who Woman of the Year is?
Is it Dylan Mulvaney?
No.
Please tell me it's not
Oprah,
Caitlyn Jenner.
Oprah Winfrey.
It is. It's the only dude.
What?
It's the only dude that can be a woman. It's Caitlyn Jenner.
What are you gonna do?
How can
Somebody
you be
like,
woman of the year if you haven't even been woman for a year? For fuck's sake.
So here,
Ron, let's just say this though. Caitlyn Jenner was at least like
no, it's
60
Bruce Jenner. Sorry, my bad. Not Caitlyn.
Bruce,
Wait,
Jenner,
is
there you
that-
go.
The person in
Hold
question was at least an adult when they made this decision on their own.
Bruce, Caitlyn. It's all the same thing, right?
There, see, at least that. You're right. See, like that. This is the fucking problem too. Is the fact that
We can get struck for dead naming people. We shouldn't get into the habit.
Oh, their
Yeah,
names
yeah.
are
I
on
know
there.
it's
Yeah.
bullshit. It's bullshit. Though.
that person. Yeah. Okay. Well, we said it once. Okay, that person. All right.
That whole
But no,
episode,
you're absolutely right. But like, you
Yeah.
know, the other thing too is like, damn it, stop. You know, grooming kids. That's one thing. You know, like, kids are not old enough to make those fucking decisions. They can't do that. They don't know. Let them get to the right age. You know, and like, hey, this is another thing too. There's a growing number of kids that are they've gone and they've switched, and then all of a sudden they're kind of like, wait, you know what? I don't know if I like being this sex. I think I would like to go back to being who I was. See, and that's the thing. There are so many damn kids out there who realize that they're too young to make those decisions. Because let's face it, when you're 12, 13 years old, you're confused. You don't know. We've all been there. We all
Can
know
I
what that's
just
like
say-
at that age.
I just want to say this right
Yeah.
now. It wasn't until I started talking to Steve and Gary that I heard what the Democrats are like on the West Coast. And no one, maybe AOC is a California type Democrat, but that doesn't go in New York. And I just want to say we didn't have to pass a law saying it was illegal to talk about sex to children. It was been on the books for 100 fucking years. If you do it, you go to jail. All right. It's already was a crime. There's nothing controversial in saying this. And you know what? Something
No,
like
it's not.
Disney, we talk about this on other channels where we go on and pundit about pop culture. You know what? I said it the other night. I never thought I'd say this before, but I miss Tab Hunter, Sandy Duncan, and her glass eye. That darn cat and Herbie the Love Bug were harmless movies you could put a kid in front of. Right now, with these people
Absolutely.
trying to, and they're doing things that other people in their community don't believe in. I don't think it's a large percentage of this community that thinks we want to go out there and recruit. I think it's some lunatic in Hollywood whose parents never loved them. I think look at Chaz Bono doing the right thing day after day, never in trouble, never a problem. We didn't hear anything about Chaz Bono because Chaz Bono was an adult who made a decision, and that's fine. But if you're going to give like I saw an interview with a guy who had a kid who had been who he let's face it, the kid hadn't transitioned. He had transitioned his kid to a woman, and they said, well, what about the girls who work really hard in those sports? And I think this is a minor thing, especially in college, because so few Americans go to college and so few college people play sports. But as far as on a grammar school level, gym, when your child is embarrassing and destroying the other girls in like athletic feats, how will that make them feel? And he said, my answer would be, fuck you. Your child's achievement prize isn't as important as my daughter's mental health. And I'm like, dude, they can't even buy cigarettes or maybe even a Coca-Cola or a cup of coffee. They're in first grade and you've changed. If I had a kid who was miserable in their body, you know what I'd say? I love you, but you're going to try this out until you're an adult. And then when you turn 18, I'm going to start saving up money. I'll start saving up money and help you pay for it, and I'll never disown you. But you got to be an adult. And then you can figure it out. Try out this body for a while. I thought a lot of things that weren't true for a long time too. Because when you're that age, you don't know, and then like when you make the switch, all of a sudden like you're fucking with your body, and then like when your body, the hormones, everything, like no, you are screwing with it, and like your body can't handle it. I don't think that the people who are the most vocal about it are doing any favors, because I'm going to say a controversial thing right now that maybe my friends don't agree with. But you know what?
It's not that controversial.
Here we go. The third restroom isn't the worst thing in the world. It works as a great overflow restroom. It works as a great overflow restroom in a place that only has, and some places really screw you in New York because floor space is so valuable. They'll have like one horrible bathroom. Now that they have to have three, at least you can pee in a restaurant in New York City. So maybe it's specific to me, but that third bathroom in a city of 8 million people, that does not make any difference. And in New York City that has 8 million people, I bet you we have like 1,500 people who've transitioned. And there's
who would be the best? You know who'd be the best Superman? I'll pull it up right now. I'm going to show you the best Superman right here.
Oprah Winfrey.
No.
She's going to play Nixon next year. I want to see that movie.
This guy right here.
I would have been okay. I would have been okay with them replacing the low life, what's his name, Ezra Miller, with Elliot Page as the Flash. But Elliot Page is only 4'9". When they were known as Ellen Page, which is a way to say it that is not wrong, when they were known by the previous name, they were a very petite individual, and they did not get surgery to make their legs longer. Okay, so I don't.
You can get surgery to get legs longer?
Yes,
I guess they've.
Yeah, I don't have to be 5'4".
We're gonna start a Kickstarter right now.
Son of a bitch!
I want to hang out with you're.
God
damn it! My grandfather was.
Actually, there's nothing
in World War II, so don't worry about it.
By the way, Steve, I have a natural answer to steroids, to a natural answer that causes your body to go through the exact same thing that your body went through when you were in puberty. But I'll get to that later. But I mean, like, no.
Whoa, guys, looking rough. I just found a picture. Dylan is looking rough in this one. Now, this is from the least happy newspaper in the world.
Which Dylan we talking about?
Dylan Mulvaney. This is from the least happy.
What other Dylan? Dylan. I can't believe I said that too.
I don't know if you're presenting the picture yet.
It's up there.
This is not a good look. And is this? I ask you, is this the representation that you want people of this persuasion? Because you have a right, if you're an adult, to do this. I don't have an issue with you doing it as an adult. Imposing it on your kids, I might think you're fucking crazy. And I think in New York, you would possibly be arrested. I just don't know. We don't talk about. No Democrat would ever say that here. And is this the representation you want? And this must be fun drinking at the Met game, huh? Here's your yeah. And by the way, it says Dylan Mulvaney when you Google her is an American actress. So
exactly. Google, I mean, like, because he, and I'll say he because he he never found any goddamn success for the longest time until he fucking transitioned. You know? So-
I believe that we do more good by being euphemistic and not breaking TOS, because if we're really euphemistic, it becomes funny. My example is this: Howard Stern was funnier before he was allowed to curse. So let's use their euphemisms so that we can talk about what we want. And you know what? If you're an adult, you want to do this, I guess fine. But I mean, people who do it to their children.
No, your kids don't. You're not old enough to make those goddamn decisions. Let them get to be
Exactly.
fucking 18 minimum.
Let me put it this
maybe
way:
21.
buy your
I say
5-year-old
25.
buy your 10-year-old a pack of fucking Marlboros. It's about to say, because they can't have those either. All right,
Yeah.
but buy your 10-year-old a pack of fucking Marlboros. See how that works out. See what people think of you. See what people think of you as a human being. Give your 10-year-old a fucking 12-pack of this piss beer. And by the way, everyone should go see a documentary.
Piss beer is right.
It's, by the way, this is on YouTube. There's a documentary called Beer Wars, and this woman made it 30 years through Budweiser because she was allergic to alcohol and didn't drink, and everyone else caught alcoholism because it's a disease in the air, I guess. But everyone else caught alcoholism from working there and didn't last. So she did 30 years and retired, and then after she retired, she launched Mike's Hard Lemonade, and she knew what she was talking about. And she was like, let's just get one thing straight. In America, we don't drink beer. It's a light lager. It's made to be drank while extremely cold, so you will drink it very, very fast and therefore drink more. So these people are trying to turn you into an alcoholic, and Dylan Mulvaney is pushing fucking hobo fuel.
Well, here, okay. So,
I don't cut a lot of slack to people who have a huge drinking problem. I know somebody, competitor on YouTube who's slurring at 11 in the morning. I think that's classless. That's just me.
Look, just because I wake up at 11 doesn't mean I slur. But I'll say this. With Bud Light, I remember when this all happened, and I was working with Gary at the time on that day when it all happened. And I was like, Bud Light's like, if you want to do something, like, at least do a nicer beer. In California, you can't find
going to risk their better beer.
Well, yeah, but you can't find a Samuel Adams beer, which is one of my favorite beers, in California because they supported Trump, the president of Samuel Adams. They won't sell it in California. There's only one place, Buffalo Wild Wings. That's the only place. And whenever I go there, I just do Sam Adams. Although it's like this long of a drink, I'm like, I'm good. I'll spend $40 and I'm good. But when you do, like, Bud Light is not the best beer. To me, it's an upgrade to
White Claw.
I'm willing to bet that. By the way, what is it with all you Americans and your light beer? You know, Bud Light, Coors Light, Miller Light. What's up with all that? Put some fucking alcohol in it, for fuck's sakes.
And it's spelled
the same way of doing Diet Coke.
That is one of the funnier quotes I ever heard attributed to Donald Trump. I've never seen a skinny person drinking a Diet Coke.
Exactly.
You know what? Just drink a Coke. It tastes good, and just walk around the block if you can.
You're high on cocaine. What beer do you have there?
Sleeman.
Ooh. I've never had it. I've heard of it.
Admiral doesn't.
I'm having Merlot tonight, so I'm getting all classy, bitches.
Let me give you guys a little lesson in being a dirty
old
man.
This is 5% alcohol, by the way.
Damn. All right.
5%.
I live above a bodega that's next to a bar. So what I usually do is I go by the bar. If there's any really pretty drunk girls there, I'll try to pick them up. And if not, I hit the bodega and get a 12-pack and go home and drink alone and watch porn.
This is a Schliemann honey brown lager.
I'm living my best life.
It's a honey ground?
Yeah, it's called honey brown. It's, some honey in it. This is 5.2%.
See, that's almost what you would
That's a-
call mead then, right? Because it's not a lager. It's a different type of beer. Beer is a lot of different things. There's lagers, there's ales, and as
This
Billy
is
D.
called a
Williams
lager.
would tell you, yeah, okay, but it might be a more proper lager beer. Americans drink light lager ale, right?
I know.
Guinness,
Why?
a Guinness and a Bud Light are completely different animals, and they're both called beer.
Mhm.
That's and you know what? The Bud Light people lack the integrity of the Guinness people who sell a 20-ounce four packs of 20-ounce imperial pints with a ping pong ball inside of it. So when you open the top of the Guinness, it bursts the ping pong ball and reinvigorates the beer and gives it that Guinness taste.
Yeah.
And off the tap, it's great. They always draw a shamrock on it for you. And like if you're gonna have a one beer before bed beer, that's it, man. And you drink a Guinness, you feel it after one beer. I have to drink like 8 Bud Lights to feel an effect, and then by that time I'm pissing so often that I don't have time to drink enough to get drunk.
I can drink 4 Guinnesses and I'm good. I know. So Mr. House Party 6 said Nordbecker's kind of good. I've never had that one.
I've had Yingling, and that's some good shit. If you can get that, or Leinenkugels, I don't think they're Ambev. I know Yingling isn't. Yingling, I think they also supported Trump. They did. They went agnostic on the election after a while, but what they do is they are the oldest family-owned American brewery, and they're in Pennsylvania, and it's a really good beer. Check out Yingling, and all this stuff happened because of Prohibition and the way they repealed it poorly. I mean, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, you couldn't just keep America dry. I'm kidding, of course.
I think Jeff would be perfect on this whole beer conversation because he makes beer.
Oh,
Who knows?
Yeah,
I might
Jeff
make
would
a
know.
Rancor Steve Man-O-Rama beer where it's like so
Sell coffee.
I went
That's
to
what
a-
Jeremy does.
the what?
Why don't you just sell coffee like Jeremy?
Yeah, but coffee's just been done. I know how coffee was. So I worked as a barista and I did a whole bunch of coffee stuff. I know how that works. I'd rather work with beer. If I can make a good beer, it's good. Who knows? I might do coffee. I don't
See,
know.
The Canadian people,
you know what,
making beer
Steve?
have
You
an
really
advantage
need to
over
try
us.
some Brazilian coffee.
Oh my gosh.
Just really
That's
quick.
like cocaine right there.
In Canada, they don't have
No,
the
seriously.
bottleneck distribution system that keeps independent American brewers down. Sorry.
No,
Continue with your
no.
coffee
See, there's some Brazilian. There's some Brazilian coffee that I actually fell in love with, like maybe when I first started my trucking career in like the 2005, and then it was like about 2008 or 2009 that I saw the truck again, and like I looked and I saw this. It said
This is some good shit.
no.
This
No,
is the best Latino coffee. Take it
No,
from
it's
Latino.
Okay. I would I don't want to be sorry. I don't want to be too much of a but like there I have two. I actually have 2 coffees that I'm currently in love with, and that is one of them is Brazilian Canadian coffee, and there's actually three or 4 different types. But the point is that getting back, the Brazilian Canadian coffee it has a fantastic taste. Like, you don't want to add cream, you don't want to add sugar or anything into it, because like if you drink it just like like just regular, like straight out of the pot, you're just kind of like you've been like, oh my god, what is this? Like it's coffee, but there's so much other taste to it. Like it's not even like there's chocolate. There's like I can't even begin to like explain. And then my other secondary, which for the time being has been actually my go-to choice, is Cuban coffee, because
speed.
Hypothetically, all coffee that I drink is Cuban coffee. Hey, look who it is! It's James Caan.
Hey,
Welcome, Rick
Ron.
Moranis,
Hi.
to the first podcast to
Spidey.
more.
thank you.
Wearing his communist
Is that all
Joe
your weed
Biden
back there?
glasses.
Can you hear me?
Hey,
okay?
Spidey. Yeah, right on. Good to see you,
hey,
man.
Rod, Admiral Teague, Rancor Steve, thanks for having me.
What's going
It's my
on,
little
buddy?
garden out front of the house here.
Is
Right
it
on.
your weed?
No, the weeds at the back of the house, so people are not going to steal peas.
Now, Steve,
But
is this the
anyone
coffee
passing
you
by
use-
from the lake,
Well,
they might
they
steal a
will,
pot
but
plant.
they'll probably
in a
like
pot.
a few of them.
Now, Steve, is this your favorite coffee right here?
Fuck yeah.
What about coffee
It
brand
is.
coffee?
I don't
Right
think,
there.
I don't think he's the one selling it.
Nope, but I'll
Yeah,
buy
Hey,
it.
Spidey.
It's hilarious.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
Spidey, you got this?
Can't.
Zima,
The
is
sun's
that-
right in my
is that
eyes.
his-
What is it, please?
Zima.
Schliemann.
Oh, Sleeman.
Sleeman.
Oh, I like Sleeman. Yep, Sleeman
Ah.
Honey Ale. Fantastic.
Actually, I got that right here.
Oh, Disney Sheepers in the
Nice.
chat now.
I'm
Cool.
enjoying a nice Kootenai
Yeah, and like this is the silver
from
stuff,
the
the
Kootenai
regular,
Mountains nearby.
the Schliemann original ale. That's why it's
Nice.
silver.
I like the Sleeman.
I'm
It's
enjoying
it's certainly
a
better
nice.
than Anheuser-Busch.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, that is true. It is.
And to go
What?
with it, Rod Thunderheart.
Oh yeah. Old Dutch crunchies. Yeah.
Oh, I love the crunchy or the big
And they're
cheesy
Canadian.
poofs. I like a cheesy poof, but sometimes you
And
need
they're-
a crunchy.
Oh no, the crunchies are Canadian too. By the way, they're
Really? Do they
they're
have these?
yeah.
Rancor Steve down. Do you have like
No.
crunchy cheesy poofs?
They're called Cheetos.
Yeah.
yeah. See, they have Cheetos down there. You know, like no,
Yeah.
Spidey,
All right.
old Dutch. Their factory is in Calgary. I've seen it.
Ooh, did they give you free stuff?
I have to share this
Well,
picture I took
I mean,
today.
well, no, I mean, like I've seen it. Like I was looking. Oh, there it is. You know, sort of thing.
Oh,
but like,
okay.
no, it's on
Right.
it's in the southeast area of Calgary. Like, no, I've seen it. Like the old Dutch factory. I mean, like I've seen it. It never occurred to me. And like all of a sudden later on, I learned, hey, Old Dutch is Canadian. Really? Holy crap!
I had
You know,
no
I'm
idea. I figured they were Dutch.
No, I know.
Calgary,
no,
right off the old Deerfoot Highway.
Check
Deerfoot
out
Trail.
the
Yes.
Subway ad I saw today. Speaking on that
exactly.
topic.
Oh man,
Yeah.
this one.
It's
There's Rod.
insane. What the fuck? I'm getting on the subway, minding my own business, going to buy marijuana, and I'm confronted by this horseshit. What the fuck? The Dorito
So
of Destiny?
I'll tell you right now, this movie's gonna fail. Is
Because
it okay?
Because
so
it's
is it
directed
just-
by Eva Longoria. Could that be why?
Oh, she's hot. But
You think so? I don't know.
She was.
Okay, let's compare the
Is
budget
this-
to
is
like.
this movie?
what-
Go ahead. I'm
Is
sorry.
this movie going straight to no? Is this movie going straight to streaming or is it in theaters?
I'm gonna check right now. It's called Flamin' Hot, right? I think it's a Pride Month thing. And by
No,
the way,
shit.
this guy has
Sorry,
his
guys.
his last name on his uniform, Martinez. So they're really like leaning into the Latino thing. Let's see. Eva Longoria is the director. Writers
Oh,
Louis
okay,
Collig.
that says it all right there.
Starring Tony Shalhoub, though, Dennis Haysbert, and
Tony
Matt
Shalhoub,
Walsh.
holy crap, Monk.
You know what?
Monk is in it?
Maybe,
Oh, yeah.
Let's
And
just say
before
something here.
him,
Eva
Wings.
Longoria didn't write it.
the taxi driver.
Okay, Eva Longoria
Wings.
didn't write it. Here's the cast: Tony Shalhoub is Roger Enrico, Dennis Haysbert, Matt Walsh, Jesse Garcia.
Oh my God, Dennis Haysbert.
Annie Gonzalez is fucking smoking hot. Emilio Rivera, Laura Martinez Cunningham plays Patty. She looks like she's the Karen of the movie. Some guy
Oh
named
my God.
Becky Sterna, Vanessa Martinez, Bryce Gonzalez it's a child actor. Bobby Soto, and then I don't recognize any more of the names, but Tony Shalhoub certainly worth paying attention to, and Dennis Haysbert.
Oh my God,
I remember
Monk.
24.
Yep.
Monk and the president from 24 have a mystery.
That's Monk.
Could you imagine if it's just like 24 and like Dennis Haysbert is like, Monk, I need you to get in 24 hours. I need you to solve this mystery to save the United States. He's like,
Do any of you
I'm
remember him
allergic to mysteries?
What were you gonna say?
from the show Wings?
Yeah.
I believe he was the taxi driver
Tony
Oh,
Shalhoub.
yeah.
in Wings.
But
Oh, yeah.
the
have you
serious
guys-
actor came
Yes.
out of that too, right? Sandman from Spider-Man 3.
That's right. Yep, another great actor, but maybe isn't as famous as he should be or well known.
I
But
don't
both
think
of
you
those
can-
actors, actually, everyone, in my opinion,
Yeah.
in Wings, I'm surprised
but-
they didn't get bigger.
Well, I mean, the chick from It's a Living's career just simply endures.
No kidding.
Like, she
Yeah.
one canceled show after another, and then she never out of work though.
Yeah, but I mean,
don't
like,
know who
also,
you're
like,
referring to.
you know, Tony Shalhoub was also James on Men in Black 1 and 2.
By the way, the chick
Oh,
from It's a Living is the
yes!
chick from Wings.
The guy,
Exactly,
the guy who gets his head
That's right.
blown off,
That's right.
and then his head
And
like,
it goes back.
"You insolent prick!
That's right.
You have
I
any
saw that
idea
movie-
how much that stings?"
That stings. Yes, Rod. Yeah, I knew
That's-
there was something else.
I
He's
saw
been in a
that
lot of
Yep.
movies, actually.
I saw that
Oh,
on
yeah.
I've
Mall
never
of
seen him in
America.
Star Trek, though.
I think he.
I,
No, honestly, he was. I just can't place it. But I mean, like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he. I'm reasonably certain that he was.
I think you're thinking Galaxy Quest.
Maybe. But like,
Why
that
would they?
seems more.
Why
there's
would
been
they
so
allow
many
him
people who have been
Star
on
Trek?
been on. There's so many people who have been on Star Trek, though. It's not even funny. Like,
And
you know.
so many people that have been in both Star
Seth
Trek and Star
MacFarlane.
Wars, in fact, Rod.
And now we got people who
I
have
went
been
down
in-
the YouTube rabbit hole one
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
as you do.
He's in
Yeah.
Spy Kids 3. Game over.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, see, this is a way more pleasant conversation than grooming of children through
Galaxy Quest. Yeah, we got.
Yeah.
I turned my camera off for that one.
So,
It's like, this is getting
Steve,
dark.
I mentioned this
Yes.
earlier.
Oh, he's in the
him,
X
Steve.
Files.
No, I'm sorry. Rancor Steve. Are you still there? Are you around?
Body
He
break.
must have stepped out. Damn it.
He stormed off his own stream. Let me look at the private chat. You guys suck. I'm not coming back. No, he's just peeing. He'll be back.
Oh, crap. Okay. I'll wait till he comes back.
No,
but,
no P. It's P. He'll
Oh.
be back really soon.
Oh, okay. No. I understand. You know, because like I'm gonna have to go soon too. Like, but
the Canadian Spider-Man is wearing the same sunglasses as the leader of my country, but I have the same DNA as the leader of his country because I'm Cuban.
Hey, Spider-Man.
Yes, sir.
Cardinal Sin is thinking about streaming
Yeah.
later.
I'm
But
in.
we got to
I'll
get
be
some.
right here.
We got to.
As long as Scotty's not there, I'll go on. I will never do a panel with that guy again. That was underhanded what he did to me, and I will not go on with him or Pop ever again on any format.
No.
I'm in,
Hey,
Rod.
no, that's fine. I read your tweet about that. Holy fuck, man. No, I mean it's like I said. You know, I mean, like, you know, like people are never who they say they are. They are who they've been all along. And like,
And then on a
That
positive note, yes, I will
motherfucker
be there,
always
'cause I would
hated
love
me,
to stream
so.
with you and Cardinal Sin. We've been doing that for what, 2 years now, Rod? Maybe 3.
yes,
Like early pandemic.
I want to say right now,
yeah.
Cardinal Sin was first class to me, and we have talked on Twitter about this, and he has been absolutely wonderful and understands what happened and has not been uncool in the least. So,
No,
hats off. I would
vouch for
go back
Cardinal
on
Sin.
Cardinal Sin anytime. Just I will not go on
okay,
with those
awesome,
panelists.
Teague. Awesome,
I love
Teague.
Cardinal
Right,
Sin.
you're
He's
welcome
great.
to join us too, like later too. Yeah.
Ooh,
I would
what do you
love
got?
to.
Yeah.
What do you got, Rancor Steve? You showing us something?
Well, no. What's your question? What's your question, Rod?
Oh, yeah. Or not question. I just wanted to tell you. Like I started to explain it earlier, but you know when I was mentioning about steroids, you're right. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I actually tried something that's it's natural, but it's got the same damn effect as okay, I've never taken steroids, so I can't say if it's this,
No.
but it
Thank
feels
God.
I'll say this, I've never felt something so damn strong. And that is that I don't think anybody's even heard about it, but like it's from a Swedish bodybuilder, Torbjörn Ackerfeld, and he created ABCDE. No, not the alphabet. It's called the Anabolic Burst Cycle of Diet and Exercise, ABCDE. You know,
Wow.
and that is that. And here, it's an interesting thing. Like he discovered through experimentation that if you sit there and like you overeat, like you eat way more than you are supposed to, right? For 2 weeks, you could, for example, you can compare it to, like, say, how bears before they're about to hibernate, what they do? They sit there and like, oh no, like they kill and eat everything they can possibly eat, right?
Yep.
Then
like a stoner before bedtime.
Exactly. Then they hibernate, right? And who are we welcoming in here?
Ooh, we
I
have
just want
Jeff,
to welcome
Last Wanderer,
Speaking of beer,
the beer champ.
Hey, Jeff.
the beer champ.
by the way, this is a protest that I came across last night. As you can see, most of the flags are Israeli. There's a crisis in the government of Israel, and some people are very concerned. Something about dissolving the legislature. They're going to put someone on trial, and he wants the right to pick his own judges. That's what the protesters told me. But if you look at the end, you can see a pride flag, and these people had infiltrated another legitimate protest to try to just piggyback on it. And you have to feel badly for someone. Now, these people live in America, but they're citizens of Israel, or they're invested in it, and they're standing up for their country in their own patriotic manner. And here we have their protest being co-opted, because what dissolving the judiciary of Israel has to do with that flag that they're carrying next to the Israeli flag. You got me on that one. And when I walked by the protest, I was like, hey, what's going on? Because people are friendly, and the people are friendly and approachable. And one woman was like, explain the crisis in the Israeli government. So I'm like, so are they also, anti, gay? And they're like, we don't know who the fuck those people are.
I just want to congratulate Jeff, the beer master of Man-O-Rama, to the panel of the first podcast. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good.
I think I should drink for this.
This way.
I think you should. If you don't, we're gonna have a lot to talk about later.
Oh. All right.
I don't know.
Let's see.
You're like, I gotta figure out which one I'm gonna drink.
Oh, I know what I'm gonna drink.
And then what else? Snowdub said, or no, not Snowdub. Wow, man. Disney Sheepherder said, got to tuck and roll, but I'll stay logged on. Thanks for joining, Disney Sheepherder. I just want to thank everyone who is in the chat, who's watching on the first podcast of More. Yeah. This is all the panels from Man-O-Rama who are able to be on this podcast. This is not scripted. This is not planned. This is more of us just having a conversation. I guess in a way it's to help. Yeah, I guess someone's got to be professional. I'll leave that to Jeff.
Yeah, that's what I do at 9:00.
Yeah, this podcast is mainly just to help. If women want to know what guys talk about, this is what this is. We'll just spout off random things. We'll just talk about whatever. It relieves a lot of the pressure of Man-O-Rama on Thursdays on Rumble. Wow, the wine's kicking in right now. How you doing? I just I thought, why not do a podcast where it's just some of the guys that are on the Thursday show every once in a while and just have them on and we just talk. It's just kind of fun. It's just laid back and more us talking about whatever. So yeah.
Thanks for having us.
We've talked about a lot of random stuff. Yeah. Like it's crazy, but I'm having fun, man. This is a fun first podcast episode.
Nice. The inaugural run.
Yeah. Right on.
I hope you broke a bottle of champagne across the bow.
Yeah, Steve, I really enjoyed your thing the other night too, but I had to go to bed, but I like that. Like the talking to women one.
Oh yeah, I know. Next week is going to be about dating. So I don't know who's going to be on that one, but if anyone wants to be like, I want to be on that episode where we talk about dating, I think helping guys to know how to talk to women and approaching women is really good. And there's certain ways, and that's why I came up with the whole good pickup lines, bad pickup lines. Like there was some really bad ones, even in the chat, and even the ones that we mentioned. I was like, "Oof, this is rough." No woman's gonna be like, "Yes, I'll date you. Yes, I'll go with
exactly.
you tonight." No,
Well, you know what? It was funny. A few of my friends on Twitter today, females. I guess I should use the correct term, females, not girls, but they were
Vagina
talking about
carriers.
there you go. They were talking about the lost art of flirting, and it was kind of an interesting Twitter feed. It was interesting to see some of the people I know relatively well talking about it. It was kind of enlightening.
yeah, I think a lot of guys have lost the whole. Ooh, am still.
Hey, T.
See how great it is to live in New York. You just walk downstairs to the bodega.
Hey, I'm drinking. I don't know if you can see it or not.
I can't see it. What is
something 2020?
Fort Ticonderoga Special Annual Reserve 2020 from Gun Hill Brewery out of Bronx.
Did I get it mostly right about the corrupt?
All I need to know is the alcohol percentage.
It's an English barley wine of 11.5%.
Holy shit!
11.5? Wow. Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Jay,
wow! I salute you, brother.
Was I pretty close about the corrupt American beer industry and how they try to turn people into drunks?
For the most part, yes.
And the distributorship system? Yeah. I mean, drink a Molson. There's a fucking beer for you. Drink a Labatt's.
The
distribution. Thank you. Even though I'm not 100% happy with the fact that they got bought out too, but
yeah. Oh, the distribution laws and rules that are in place are absolutely asinine.
Yeah.
There are some states that counter it, that make it illegal for some of the games that the big three do, but it's nasty. Absolutely nasty.
So that reminds me, I had a beer that someone made when I was at a friend's wedding in Texas, and this guy made one called California Blonde. Really good. I ended up drinking 5 of them. And he's like, "How many did you have?" And I was like, 5. He's like, "Do you want to know the percentage of the alcohol in it?" And I was like, "Sure, like 4, 5." He's like 13%. And I was like, "Come again?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The flight home was one of the worst possible things I ever went through. I was so hungover. It didn't hit me until later in the night. I was dead asleep, and I woke up, and I was like, "Okay, what's going on?" Yeah, this is. I think it was about 13% alcohol in one. Holy!
The biggest beer I've ever brewed was 16.2%.
God,
wow!
And that was it's an Imperial Amber. Called it Big Red. It's I brew it every 3 years for Secretariat.
What's the limit of like liquor? That's like what, 80?
Well, I mean, you can have 100.
Yeah, 80 proof, I believe. Yeah, 80%.
I think right now, I think the biggest beer ever brewed was 53.7%.
God,
that's a heavy fucking beer, man.
It's not even beer. Anything above 30%. It's more sugar than anything else.
You're
25 or there.
Yeah, I've had some good ones in the low 20s and high teens that you can't taste the alcohol in, but most of them you can. Yeah. They get that sugary alcohol taste, and it's just
Well, the one that I drank, it wasn't sugary. It was just, it tasted really good. And I drank 5 of those cups, like the beer pong, like the red cups.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
5 of those, I'm like, dude, if I knew, maybe 3, Nope, I went for 5, and the next day I was just it was the most miserable flight from Texas to California. I was like, this sucks, man.
Oh, how long is that flight? Like 5 hours?
Something like that. It was
Wow.
Well, the problem though is when you have a hangover of that level of like, I didn't throw it up or anything. It was just like,
just gotta keep drinking.
Yeah.
I was on the flight. I ended up drinking scotch. I was like, do you have anything that'll help?
Drinking on the plane.
But
Well,
the
hey,
problem
that'll
is, though,
kill the hangover. That's for sure.
Yes, it will.
oh yeah.
Yes,
But
it
when
will.
when you have a hangover off of a beer that's 13% and you drink 5 of them, when you hit 30-some thousand feet, it's a whole nother rush of
lack of oxygen.
I was like, dude, I can't do this anymore. And I texted the guy and I was like, dude, I don't know what you put in it. I can't do this. I can't handle this. I'm done. Like, just game over, dude. Game over, man.
Come on.
Game over.
Flying while drunk is hilarious. Look at the beginning of the movie Independence Day.
Well, here's the thing. I've learned this. If you want to get a good high, here's the thing, guys, in the chat or who's watching. If you want to get a good buzz, take a couple shots of scotch or whiskey right before you take off. Because when the takeoff jolts you, that right there, yeah. I did that when I was going to Russia or leaving Russia, and they're like, I bought a little bottle, like the little like one person handle thing, like at the airport, on the airplane, they give a little like sampler thing. Like when you go, there's like a 750, like right in the middle. And I bought that at in Frankfurt, Germany. And I think it was, I don't know what whiskey it was, but I just started drinking it right at takeoff. I was like, I'm done. And it was around the time when they said, does anybody want to be in first class on the way back?
Holy shit.
I just sit down in first class.
You lucky SOB.
When I get on the plane, I simply sit in first class and I wait for them to ask me to move, and I just act like I'm really important. I won't look anyone in the eye. It worked 5 times in a row.
When I so when I was filming in Russia for a month, I got to Frankfurt, Germany, and I can understand a little bit of German. And Russian, I can't understand the language. But when we got to the Frankfurt, Germany, I was like, oh my goodness, I can understand what they're saying. I can do all this stuff. Like, cool. So
ja, mein Herr, was ist das?
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Jawohl, mein Herr.
So,
Nein.
Did not see that coming.
When I was on the airplane, the German military looked through my bag. They all walked in and they're like, hey, in the airport or on the airplane. And I knew exactly what they wanted. Check my bag. Like, yeah, because I looked suspicious. I had all the film stuff. And they wanted to look through it. And right after they checked my bag on the airplane, some lady on the intercom said, we're looking for someone to step into the first class. I didn't get to it in time, and someone else snagged it. And I was like, damn it, I could have been in first class, because flying from Frankfurt, Germany, all the way to San Francisco was the most miserable thing possible. It was a 13-hour flight.
Oh, Jesus.
The sun was just blaring. I couldn't sleep. I was like, this sucks. I hate this.
Does anyone know how to get weed in Vietnam? Because I'm going there in like 6 months.
Yes.
Good luck.
Cool.
Yep. Backpacker hostels, especially in Nha Trang. In Nha
Yeah.
Trang. And any of the beach cabana boys walking up and down the beach in Nha Trang.
From what I understand, it's hard not to be offered it. You just have to walk around being an American or a North American. I want to go see where my father fought.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go see where his life was
The
changed.
museum is incredible.
So greatly. I saw the monument that they built at the base that he used to have, and it looks like the painting from an airplane. It's like an American soldier stomping on a baby with like 2 machine guns. It's so mean.
Yeah, you can go to the Cu Chi tunnels as well.
My father was in the Coochie tunnels during the war. That was his job. I was stunned. I met I am adopted like Steve, which is one of the luckiest things a lot of people can be. And I had the love of my adopted family, but I met my biological father when I was a lot older, about 3 or 4 years ago, and like his family told me about it. My father, his family told me about it. He just grudgingly admitted it, that he was like a tunnel rat in Vietnam in 1967 and survived the Tet Offensive. And it's just like, I was like, so I understand you in Vietnam. I was like, I want to fucking talk about that.
Yeah.
And he's like, don't ever ask me if I fucking killed anybody. And I was like, wow, people have asked you that? And he's like, yeah, fuck them. And I'm like, I thought about it for a minute. I'm like, I don't even know if you could even say for sure. Wasn't it just like everyone shot at everyone else and tried not to die?
Yeah, but if somebody said that to me, all I could sit there and say, like, well, then why did you bring that up? Don't sit there and say that, and like, don't sit there and like invite conversation if you don't expect to respond to it. So don't sit there and say like, I never killed anybody.
My cousin,
honestly, I'm sorry.
My cousin was a 9/11 first responder who survived the attack, and he was there when the building fell, and he was trapped under rubble. I've never asked him about it because it's fucked up, right? I was like, so tell me about the 5 worst hours of your life when you didn't know what had happened and you thought you were like, why would I ever ask him that? No, don't go asking soldiers if they did stuff like that.
Yeah, but why would they say that though?
Why would the soldier say that? I think the reason
that's my point.
He had been asked, and he found it deeply offensive because that's not the measure of a man. He was just like, I did my duty. You know? Like it shouldn't matter. He didn't go there.
Yeah, but my response would be more like, well, you know what? You've been there and you sit there and you've already elaborated on part of it. So why are you sitting there going to give me like 50 to 75% of the answer and like not expand on the rest? If you're not going to, well, then fine.
It was because I asked that he gave me any answer, but then I said, look, you put me up for adoption over this trauma and all this stuff. Why don't you tell me about it?
Okay, yeah, see, yeah, see.
But he was like, since I'm your father, and this is like how your life got started. And I was like, I owe you an explanation. Fine. Here's what happened. And he told me a little bit, but he wasn't like, he didn't go big game hunting to Vietnam. He went there to serve his country.
Fine, but I mean, like, you're still only given like half to 3/4 of the answer. If you're not going to give me the answer, then F you.
Well, I think the thing was
that'd be my response. I'm sorry.
I think he was trying to head the question off of the past because people had asked it and it was very upsetting to him.
It's a beautiful country. How long, Bay?
You'll be the
okay. Look, okay, I get it, but I mean, like, still,
All right, Pete Calculon.
Admiral, I don't know if you're aware of this, but back when I was there in 2005, you could pay $50 and I swear to God, it was advertised in a couple of hostels I stayed at, and I never partook. But for $50 you could take, and they would give you a rocket launcher, and you could shoot up a cow, a live cow, apparently.
Hell yeah!
Gonna be some sort of weird sex.
Yeah, you blow it up with a rocket launcher. And that's 2005. I don't know if you can still do that.
How much was it?
Somewhere,
$50?
$50.
Yeah,
somewhere Ireland politicians are going, we can do that?
Here's $200 for the Coochie tunnels.
The same hostels had advertisements for the Coochie tunnels.
I would throw down my credit card and be like, when this one's maxed out, I have another. Give me that fucking rocket launcher. That's great.
So,
well, apparently there's
Rancor
a lot
Steve,
of ex-US
can I finish what I was saying?
And stuff there, Steve.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll let Rod finish what he has to say.
Thanks. Remember what I was saying about the ABCDE? Like anabolic burst cycle of Dianetics. Yeah. Well, here's the. As I said, like it's like a bear when a bear sits there and like he stuffs himself before he hibernates, right? Yeah. Well, we as humans, we can do that, because our bodies, our immune systems, or something other, have been designed for the very same reason. We can sit there and for 2 weeks, 14 days, we can force. It's strange, but like we can forcibly overeat, for 14 days, and it doesn't matter what we eat. All we have to do is hit the calorie target, which is like 10 times your body weight in calories. And if you can do that every day, like this is like for example, I remember eating like for example, for supper, I would have like 2 craft dinner packages, like meant for one family, but like I'm like sitting there like eating the whole thing, and like and hot dogs, and like as long as I ate that, I was fine. And like I'm not kidding, like, and like during the time that you're that you're overeating, you also like you're weightlifting, you're supposed to like put like maximum amount of like the amount that you can lift. And I remember too, like the first time I tried the anabolic burst cycle of diet and exercise, wow. After it took like 2 days, but like after the second day, suddenly like I was like, wow, like I did my upper body workout, and suddenly I was just like, it hit me. And like after I finished my workout, I was like, holy crap, I feel like I do this again. So guess what? I sat down and I worked out, and I did my maximum, like the max that I could lift and everything like that again, and like on, as I said, like and this was on the third and slash fourth day that I was lifting, and I was like literally like I could feel it. It was just like it felt like an explosion of strength when like bench pressing and everything. I was like, good Lord, and like, but it lasted for 14 days, and then on the 14th day, that's when you suddenly switch gears, and then you switch from ultimate loading to suddenly you cut your calories down, and in like down to like 700-800 calories a day. That's it, and you're literally starving your body. But what happens is your body burns any fat that you have gained during the 14 days. But honestly, most of it has been muscle. Your body burns any fat, and you gain muscle. So for 2 weeks, you binge. You sit there, right? And like during those 14 days, you lower your cardio. But during the second week, second cycle, I should say, not second week, second cycle, which is technically the third week, you turn it over to, and you're basically starving your body. I mean, honestly, you're still eating plain and simple, the everyday regular stuff that your body can consume, but to your by your body's definition, especially based on what you've had for the last 2 weeks, you're starving your body, and your body is just like, oh my God, what's happening here? Like, we have to consume everything, all the damn fat that we've put away, So as a result, your body consumes everything that's all the fat that is put away. But like, this is the other interesting thing too, like, because it mimic this is what happens is your body is mimicking everything that your body went through during adolescence, which is like, growing muscles, and like and all that. So, and like, it's very almost steroidal, steroid like, and Torbjorn Ackerfeldt prove this, if you're curious, just look it up on the internet. It's Torbjorn, because he's Swedish, Torbjorn Ackerfeldt, and on an ABCDE, anabolic burst cycle of diet and exercise. I've done it twice, and like, good Lord, I'm 6'3", 275 pounds. So
Wow.
and I've never touched steroids, but I'm willing to bet that's kept me I've managed to maintain my size because of that. Ever since that, 15, 20 years later, and it's an interesting thing too. Like, I don't mind telling you too. Like, here's another thing too. Like, after it's tough the first 2 days, but also, I'm not kidding you. Like, all of a sudden, like, once you hit the third day, suddenly, like, it's like there's almost like a switch that turns on in your body. Suddenly, your body's just kind of like, oh my God, yes, we can have this. Like your appetite seems bottomless. You can't eat enough. Sitting there, like, you get to the end of it's like fourth or fifth or sixth day, and you're just kind of like, I ate that much? What? By the like, you can feel it though, like at the 14th day, like then your body's like, okay, I think I've had enough. Which is right there. Like, that's when you turn the other switch on. It's like you concentrate on the cardio aspect of hitting the treadmill a lot,
and some of it is mental too, I would imagine, Rod. A little bit of excitement with the mental shift in focus as well.
It is. You're right.
And the more you feel a difference, the more kind of that encourages you mentally, I would assume.
Yeah. Anybody who wants to lose a lot of weight, like, I'm not kidding, like, that's it is. It's good for losing weight too, like, and maintaining muscle. Like, it's insane. I'm like, I'm looking to do that later this year.
Yep.
I picked up something.
If you don't have the ability to swing from trees, that's the next best thing. I agree.
I know Rancor Steve has a birthday coming up in a few days, and I also know that Rancor Steve loves AOC. And the last time I met AOC, and I've met her like 4 times now, because she was my rep from Congress. But the last time I ran into AOC, she gave me something, and I think Steve would enjoy it, and I think it's something he would enjoy wearing, maybe to work or to social occasion. And
good Lord, she's stupid hot too, man.
Oh,
nice fun bags, right?
Ooh.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Steve, will you be able to squeeze into a medium, Rancor Steve?
It'll probably drape on him.
Quite likely.
I hope he likes it.
Great part is he had to step away, so he hasn't seen it yet.
That now. I'll just say, AOC, if she's ever voted out of office, she has a job at the Galaxy's Edge as an Ewok waiting for her right now. She might have to wear taller shoes to be a believable Ewok. She could play an Ewok child.
A lot of Canadians don't even know who she is. I just learned last week.
Yeah.
She's actually very personable as an individual when you meet her, and
most people are.
The person that's
just when you get them in groups is the problem.
Let me put it this way: she's such a good politician that the 4th time I met her, she did one of these, right? John, right? So good. In America, it's not like other countries. Our politicians, like, the person who has the office, they're like the rock star out there making noise, acting calm, and saying things. Steve, did you see what I got?
Sumo wrestlers in Japan.
Say what again?
The last I know you're a huge fan of AOC. And,
harass what?
The last time I saw her, she gave me something, and I think you would like it. I think it would be really good. I think it would be flattering on you. It would pick up your eyes. And
she gave you a blowjob.
I wish.
Don't we all?
Send DM me your address. Happy birthday.
Yeah. Right.
On that note,
what else?
I've got to be going.
If you don't
gentlemen.
take it, I'm just gonna have to use it to clean the apartment.
So you got to head out, Canadian Spider-Man?
I do. We've got a birthday party we got to get to. My buddy and I.
shit.
I'm driving, so I've got obligations.
So is there anything you want to
Thank
plug?
you for having me. I just you can catch me on my own YouTube channel, Canadian Spider-Man. I've got a bunch of travel videos that are short, a minute, so they don't take a lot of commitment. And then I'm occasionally on Man-O-Rama with Rancor Steve and Admiral Teague and Rod Thunderheart.
I know you sent me some footage for your stuff. I got to get those color corrected and everything. So, yeah.
It's been a pleasure this evening. So,
thank you, dude. Thank you for coming on.
People that haven't caught the whole show, go back to the start. I've been lurking since the start, and great idea. And I hope you continue this because I'd like to encourage you in that.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Oh yeah, no problem, Rick Moranis.
He
looks, doesn't he,
night,
Jeff?
Jeff.
Doesn't he look like Rick Moranis?
A bit,
Ron
yes.
does.
With my when I have my glasses on, perhaps more.
Yeah, that's
If
what
Rick
it is.
Moranis and James Caan had a child.
Yeah. If
And
Rick
we're
Moranis
tan.
took steroids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And good to see you, Admiral Teague, again. Rod Thunderheart.
Great to see you, man.
Have a good
You're
evening.
the best, Canadian Spidey. I'll
All
see
right.
you soon.
Good night, everybody.
So one of the things I have planned for this show, everyone, I don't know how many times I'm going to do the podcast. It might be once a month, every other week. I have no idea. It might be on a Saturday. It's just do a podcast with guys who are on the Man-O-Rama show, and us just talking like this. It's just
nice.
we made what?
No, sorry, I was just agree. Right on.
Oh, we may not finish our sentence, but if women are wondering how, like, what do guys talk about? Literally, this is it right here.
Mhm.
Drinking, having a fun time, just hanging out. It's just bonding. I think a lot of guys, that's something that a lot of guys need, is just bonding. And eventually we're going to do a movie night where that's going to be fun.
Nice.
And
Looking forward to that, yeah.
The name is. The what?
Philosophical discussions about what beer really is.
Yeah. Like the important things of life, of like, what a woman should wear. No.
You'll get in trouble when the beer conversation starts happening.
Last night
I
I went to the bar downstairs at 3 a.m.
And you found Dylan. That's what you did. You found Dylan. You're like, how you doing? You took him home and you're like, oh yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
No, you know what? I started drinking at 3 a.m. They locked the doors at 10 a.m. when they opened it up to open for business again. I woke up in my apartment at like 11:30 in the morning, and I had I had spent $100, and I had ordered a whole bunch of new furniture from Amazon. And I don't remember fucking any of it.
You ordered all that. No, I'm just kidding. You ordered the Hillary Clinton book, Big Mike book. No, but one of the things that we're gonna try to do is a movie night where I don't know if we're gonna stream it strictly on Rumble, but it's gonna be that's your Hillary Clinton book, right?
No, it's Bill's. I wouldn't buy a book from a murderer.
Yes.
I wouldn't buy
Sorry,
a
I'm
book from a
watching,
murderer,
Lawyer.
but I wouldn't buy a book from a murderer. I'd buy a book from a murderer's husband.
Sorry, I'm watching the Stanley Cup playoffs.
When I met President.
Oh, who's winning?
The Vegas Golden Knights. They're 3-2 over the Florida Panthers. But I can tell this is going to be like a 7-game series. I can just tell from the.
By the way,
wow.
When I met President Clinton, he pulled me in close and said, "She's trying to kill me. Meet me by the back door and get me the fuck out of here."
He looked at you and be like, "I need a blowjob, right
By the way, my money is 6 games with the Knights.
There were a
Yeah.
bunch of chicks in front of me. They
It's
were
going to
like
be a
school
7-game
teachers.
series.
Some of them were
Right
hot,
down the
and
left.
President
6.
Clinton was really into them. And by the way, I met him in like 2003 before he was considered what he is now. He had a much different reputation when I met him. Okay, I don't
You want to know
Alright.
something?
sound like I'm not going to say I'm endorsing him here, but I mean, I don't endorse him. I wanted to meet a president. I thought that would be cool. I'd probably meet anyone who had been president.
I think Bill it would be a pretty cool hangout, actually.
Do you want to know
He's like,
something
this
funny?
is how you pick up a
Let's
lady.
do some cocaine. Let's do some cocaine.
This is how and Bill Cosby on the side. This is how you do all the pills and dropping everything. And Bill be like, "This is my wingman. How you guys doing?"
That is a TV show right there. And you ever notice
Dude,
that
you
Bill
could
Clinton-
make that whether you. And thanks for Guatemala Rooster for jumping in the chat right here, dude. You're awesome.
Guatemala
He's
Rooster
another
is
one who's-
awesome.
But I remember, so I went with my one of the guys I worked with that I was his boss, Jeff. Not you, Jeff, but another Jeff. And we ended up watching the Celtics and Miami Heat games. Fuck you, Celtics, for just dropping the ball on that one. You end up being the number one team for most of the season. You just fuck it up. And we were talking. I didn't know this, that a team that goes in NBA, if you go 0-3 and then you win the next 3 games, and then it goes to game 7, it's been 151 years since a team has not won game 7.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Or no.
Wait, because someone has to win every game 7.
Yeah, it's
In the NBA, if a team goes up 3 games to
Phrasing.
none, they are 151-0.
Oh.
yeah.
There's been an NBA for 150 years, since 1873.
No, it's
So-
games. It was 151
Games.
series.
Oh, the course. I get
Yeah,
you
that's
now.
where.
Now I
But
understand.
here's the other thing: if an NBA team
Sound like
gets to 100 points first, they have a 90% chance of winning that game. So, in NFL terms, that's stupid because the Patriots pretty much proved, nope, we're gonna win the Super Bowl at third and fourth quarter. I had a
Unless
buddy
they're
of
playing
mine-
Eli Manning.
Yeah, but hey.
Sorry.
So I had a
I
buddy
have said this
who's-
numerous times. Boston fans that live in Boston are the worst sports fans in the history of sports.
I
you're a
still
Boston
say the
fan,
Eagles.
If you're a Boston fan outside of Boston, you're okay. Philly fans at least understand the sport.
Really?
Boston fans that live in Boston do not understand the sport itself.
I'll agree to that. So I had a buddy of mine in Vegas. He texted me
Like
during
going
the
to a Met
Falcons.
game.
Yeah, unless you're a Mets fan or a Jets fan, then you like the ass. You know, I'm never gonna let that
Oh,
go.
Mets.
T.
Mets. I'm
I'm
sorry. I
going-
thought you said Mets.
That's the gayest possible thing of sports you could possibly come up with. The butt fumble, dude. Like,
Yeah.
you're wearing the hat. Own it, buddy. But I had a buddy.
You know how
when I
hard it
was-
is to wear this fucking thing on a Monday morning in New York? You know how fucking hard it is to wear this goddamn hat on a Monday morning, and I put it on anyway, and
Yes!
I wear my fucking jet hat, and I get fucking
Yes!
stomped at by the people in their giant hats and all the fake fucking Cowboy fans in New York. And I say,
Oh,
fuck you! I like the New York Jets because I'm a low-class motherfucker from Queens. Fuck off and suck my dick.
so
You want to see me
4-2
go
for the
ranty?
night.
Let's talk about the Jets hat some more.
tell us how you really feel.
I
Yes!
feel that you want to find a
4-2
Bond
for
villain?
the
There's
Knights.
30.
Yeah.
You want to
I've challenged you,
villain?
Teague. I
Go
have
ahead.
challenged you with my Red Sox. Let's do this, baby.
You know what?
But
I got a
so
lot of hats I can put on around
as
here
Teague
that
goes
want a
on an
lot going
emotional rant about the Mets and the Jets and the
Well, I don't care
Yankees
about the
and-
Mets that much.
Well, you talk about them more than the Yankees do. So guess what, buddy? But no,
I live right near the stadium, and I do go to a lot of Met games, and it is a good time.
Yeah.
because they do a lot of butt pitching. But
You do a lot of getting fucking wasted on the train to the game, man. That's what baseball is like fishing. You get wasted and then you go do it.
so
Rancor, Steve.
I went. Yeah.
Can I ask you? Sorry. You were saying. You know what?
No, you
Finish what you were going to say.
it.
Say it.
No, you
Oh, okay.
first.
I just want to say.
Beauty.
Oh, okay. Did you watch? Did you watch that video I tagged you on with Marty Robbins? You know, like fuck. I can't believe I'm blanking on it too. Like that's how much beer I've drank. See,
oh my god! Oh my god!
Oh, Big Iron. Big Iron.
The craziest thing.
I don't know.
Did you watch that?
What is the story with this?
Well, okay, so I don't know if I did. I'm sure I did. I've gotten a lot of. Was it today that you sent it to me? What day did you send that?
Either today or probably even yesterday, actually. Like Big Iron. It's an animated. Somebody made an animated version of Big Iron, the Marty Robbins movie. Marty Robbins song, and like it's a really goddamn good, so goddamn good. Like it's one of those like you look at like everything that's in the thing, like you know, like he came riding from the Southland. He came riding from the Southland, but like you see the sun, like he's in the cartoon, he's riding, but like the sun rises from the east, and so of course you would see the shadow casting on him, and like you get it. Okay, I get it. You know,
Yeah,
that kind of thing. Like
I'll look through the notifications. I've gotten a lot of hate on Twitter recently. Today, I like to go on certain.
You shouldn't.
And
undeserved, but like I get it. Yes, we talked about that.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh no, I got one guy who said, "Why don't you kill yourself?" And I was like, "Ooh."
I've
got you know what?
So much. Excuse
that's
me,
from somebody. That's from somebody who wants to kill himself, not you himself.
But it's so I've been flooded with a lot of notifications. So I think I know which one you're talking through. I'll look through my notifications, or I'll go through your account on Twitter and look for it. I think I saw it, but I didn't look at it just because I was like, all right, I'm staying off Twitter right now.
Probably because you got so much notifications. I get it.
Might
Holy
be gone
crap.
already.
Yeah.
No.
That's
like,
what
yeah, no, like
the bot might get it.
That one you tagged me to, like on the where the thing, like holy crap, that went off, and like there was like 40 fucking notifications on that too. Wow.
Yeah. So back to what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I went to a with the whole Boston sports thing. Now that Jeff's not here right now.
Oh, I'm here.
And you're here.
There you go.
Oh, I'm sorry. Guess what?
Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna find a way to relate it all back to hockey.
You're right about Boston fans who live in Boston who don't know sports. But here's the one thing that Philly. All right, so the Buffalo Bills are pretty good at making themselves look like jackasses. I'm gonna jump off a roof onto a table. Okay, but
I mean, they are the only New York team, New York football team. The other two play in New Jersey.
I got to think about this for a second. Yeah, you're right.
You take those fucking.
The Giants are. Well, the Giants are back in New York, right?
Says the Canadian wearing the LA Angels hat.
I'm not Canadian.
No way. You're not one of the Canadians? So you're actually in LA. You have the right to wear the hat.
I'm
well,
in New
fuck
England.
your team, by the way. At least it's not a Red Sox hat.
Exactly.
But
By the way, Rancor Steve,
hold up.
Okay, go ahead.
So the Giants, are they back in New York right now?
No,
Or are they still in New Jersey?
they're still in San Francisco.
The New York Giants, not San Francisco Giants.
Sorry, you know what? I got lost in your eyes there, and I thought about you, me, San Francisco, Dylan Mulvaney, a couple of Bud Lights. But please show that picture of Mr. Met that I
Tis the
found
season.
from the New York Times. That's hilarious. This is why a Met game is fun, ladies and gentlemen. And that, by the way, is the same weapon my father carried in Vietnam. The T-shirt. His had hand grenades in it. That shoots something just as deadly. A Mets T-shirt that would brand you as a sucker, a sucker for a good time.
But is the New York Giants? Are you with us, Teague? Or are you
Right,
just
I'm with you. Yeah, no,
All
I'm
right.
with you. George R.R. Martin can confirm that the winds of winter during football season blow through the meadowlands of New Jersey in the swamp, and that the teams do not play in New York. Technically, the only team that plays in the state of New York is the Buffalo Bills,
And even they don't do it all the time. They sometimes play in Toronto.
or play particularly well.
Yeah.
in the
So
crunch.
All right. This is what I want to know, because we're also going to do another show called Man-O-Rama, which I'm going to get other people on the show. Why on God's good green earth do they say New York Giants and the New York Jets when they're all in fucking New Jersey?
Because New Jersey is a fucking low life, fucking super fun site that stole our goddamn teams, and so is LA. Go enjoy that Brooklyn Dodger game.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to show you
Speaking
something
of
right here.
Jersey, Andy's here and he's going to kick your ass. I'm just kidding.
This is
No
the
one likes being
original
associated with New Jersey, by the way.
This is the original San Francisco Giant hat.
Mm-hmm.
This is their
That's
original.
New York Mets.
No, it's a San Francisco Giants hat.
Yeah.
It's a New York Giants hat.
Yep.
Because that's what they
Oh.
started. And I want to show you something else.
That the Yankees suck and Red Sox are better. Yeah, I'll agree with that.
The Red Sox and the Brooklyn Dodgers played in the first World Series, and the Brooklyn Dodgers are the first team to play in 2 World Series. But this is the original Los Angeles Dodgers fucking hat, okay?
Yeah.
So we know a thing or two about baseball in New York, and just because we have more National League teams than we ever had American League teams doesn't mean that people here don't love, and I mean love, the New York Yankees, because I do. That's my team.
Hey, so do you know who won the T will like this? Do you know who won the first World Series?
That would be the Boston Pilgrims.
Or the Red Sox? You're welcome. The Yankees suck. Good luck.
Well, the Yankees did not yet exist, but the Yankees have played in 50 of 110 of 104 World Series and won 27 of the, or 30 of them. 28 of them.
It's
See what money does? They just give you money.
No,
but no, my money.
Money doesn't solve it. I'm an Angels fan.
I think the
money
reason
does not
why
solve anything.
I think the reason they won all those World Series was because they're the only team in New York that served alcohol in their stadium. You couldn't get alcohol at Ebbets Field or at the Polo Grounds. You could only get it at Yankee Stadium because that's where lowlives went to watch baseball.
I will say this. Here's a cool chat that popped up right here. Dan Crane, Man-O-Rama forever. You got that right. And then JRC, who decided to pop up, said, yay, sports ball. Yeah. I will say this. My money, if I ever want to put money on it, I don't bet on sports because I'm afraid, like, if it's the Red Sox or Celtics or Patriots, I'm afraid I'm going to lose. I just don't do that kind of bet. But I think Nevada is going to win a Stanley Cup. I do think that. It might be a Game 6 or Game 7, but I think they're going to win it.
All I know is never bet on the white guy.
Well, I'm never going to bet on Yankees.
So then
on them
pretty
losing.
much that leaves 3 teams for hockey.
Don't bet on the Yankees because in baseball, betting has odds. So you have to bet 100 to win back 30 on a Yankee game because they're always heavily favored to win.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a straight up bet. And if you ever watch the amazing movie, the original Bad Lieutenant with Harvey Keitel, he starts out, he's about 10 grand deep, but he fucks up. And by the middle of the movie, it's like, what, $375,000 and it's 1991. So like, it's impossible money.
Yeah.
So I have two stories with betting. I had when DraftKings. Do you guys remember? Do you guys remember when DraftKings started? It was like 2012, something around there. Just me. All right, cool.
Something like that. Yeah.
So I had a buddy. He's like, "Hey, you're pretty good at fantasy football." I was like, "Well, yeah, it's not that hard to figure out. It's a bunch of math and figure out the good teams." And he's like, "Hey, can you help me with my DraftKings?" And I was like, "All right." He's like, "I'll give you half of what I make off of it." I was like, "All right, cool." This motherfucker decided to make $1 million off of it, off of my picks of who to draft for DraftKings. He ends up moving out of the state of California. I never received $500,000 from it. He just up and left. And I was like, I've been still trying to contact him. At this point, I'm like, whatever. I've lost out on that stuff. I got shafted really bad. And why a contract is such a good thing, because I could have just said, look, you made a deal with me. And yeah. And then
I've ran into too many people that I haven't seen in like 15 years on the subway to ever welch on a bet. Just give the person the fucking money.
Yeah, this guy made well over $1 million off DraftKings based off of my fantasy football skills. Not saying I'm great, but just knowing, hey, this is who you pick.
You should have thrown you $5,000 or something.
I know. Guatemala Rooster says, "Good night, y'all." And he said, "I did DraftKings for a little bit. My winnings amount a whole quarter." Awesome.
You know what my business plan was? Because DraftKings wasn't allowed, internet gambling wasn't allowed in New York until last year. I was like hard up for money during the coup and everything. And I was considering this. Meet me by the Holland Tunnel and I will drive across with your phone and you can bet on your computer, but your phone will be turned on in New Jersey. And for like $50, I'll take your phone to New Jersey till all football is over.
That sounds very sketchy, dude.
It's a way to win. The thing is, you would have been able to win. You have to be present in New Jersey, not a resident. So honestly, the idea that people were going to if they didn't bring DraftKings in New York, there would have been people running burner phones through the tunnel to Jersey all day.
So I have a friend who's in investing for companies, different companies, and during the Falcons-Patriots Super Bowl game, he at the halftime, it was I think 24-3. The odds of the Patriots winning was just never going to happen. And he said, "I just put $500,000 on the Patriots to win." I was like, "Why?" I'm not great at math, but I can tell you right now, Patriots are going to lose. Like, I'm a diehard Patriots fan, and they're going to lose. And he's like, "Well, I just wanted to make it interesting." This motherfucker decided to make a shit ton of money because he put money on the Patriots winning. He did every single bet possible and came out rich as hell. And I was like, "Can I get some of that money?" He's like, "It goes straight to the company because it's money. It's company money that he invested in." And that dude was banking in tons, well over $1 million. And I was like, God damn. So sometimes betting is good. Sometimes it's not.
Can I just say, when they were down 24-3 at the half, I turned around and I looked at the person next to me and I said, "He's still going to win this fucking game." I swear to you,
yeah.
I said that. I said, this motherfucker is still going to win this goddamn game. Tom Brady. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, he'll cheat a little harder or whatever it is he has to fucking do. Tom Brady doesn't lose. And by the way, I want to recommend this movie that you can present starring three lovely ladies. It's called 80 for Brady, the true story of three 80-year-old women who went to that game and met Tom Brady. Now, did he have 360 years worth of sex in one night? We don't know, but all Academy Award winners, and I was surprised. Me and my mom laughed our way through this movie with Lily Tomlin, Hanoi Jane, 91-year-old Rita Moreno, and Sally Field. And each one of them has a superpower. They're like the Fantastic Four. Lily Tomlin gets visions from Brady. Jane Fonda has powers of shallowness. The Sally Field has no taste buds, so she can win a chicken wing in an eating contest. And Rita Moreno has superpowers of gambling because she's just old.
Yeah. So as we reach the end of the podcast, I just want to go around the table. I know Jeff had to chill real quick. Some stuff came up, and yeah, that's all good. I'm gonna butcher your name. I'm sorry.
It's
Maria. Teague. Not you, Teague. Jeez, are you a woman? Do you have tits? I don't think so.
Give me a. You know what? In a couple hours, I may choose to identify that way for a little while down at the bar because I don't have much money laying around anymore. Like I said, I spent $100 last night, and I don't remember this furniture I bought on Amazon.
Oh, there you go. Maria, if I get your name wrong, I am sorry. I am. Maria Kitty said, I'm back. Oh Lord, it's Jane Fonda. Yuck. I'll agree with that. Jane Fonda, bleh. I don't know if she's the one who went on The View, the once a month period.
She did worse than that. She went to North Vietnam to cheer on the enemy during the war. She's an asshole.
Yeah, she is. Jane Fonda, I agree with that.
But she can act. The movie was fun.
GRC says Moray. Moray? I don't know.
I think it's Moira.
Moira? I'll agree with
Moira.
that. Ooh, that's a nice name.
Here's the thing, and I can testify to this. No matter how well your skills of reading are, once you start doing this, producing a show and talking on the air at the same time, your reading skills get reduced by like 4 grade levels every 20 minutes, right? I mean, it gets hard. Like someone's name could be like Dave, and you're like, okay, is this Davi? It becomes impossible to read.
But the problem is when you have really cute Southern voice women that come in the chat, it's really hard to know what they say or how to pronounce the name. You're like, you know what?
Bless
I'm
their
mesmerized by Southern accents. That's the problem I have. But Rod, is there anything you want to plug if you're there? If he's not, Teague, is there anything you want to plug?
Oh my God, let me go harvest my link while I tell people how I am an evil liar and deceiver who misleads Star Trek fans of a certain science fiction franchise with my clever and manipulative takes on how I turned the show Picard from a good show into a bad show simply by talking about it. And I have a show called Saving Star Trek, a channel on Rumble and here called Admiral Teague that everyone should consider signing up for. We have fun by celebrating the good old Star Trek and trying to do our best to objectively analyze the new. And it's just the problem here seems to be that the new Star Trek just isn't very good, and that's the problem. Good Star Trek brings people together. Bad people drive Star Trek people apart. But we do one thing that you won't get from real Star Trek. When you can testify to this, Steve. On my show, we remember one thing: Star Trek's supposed to be fun, so we have fun.
Yeah.
And there's my address in the chat. I hope you'll join me because I'm 2 away from 200.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hold up. The big guy. Goat Father.
Oh, my man.
Producer of my Man-O-Rama.
Hey, man. If I'm the big guy, you gotta give me your 10%, man. Your 10%'s due.
Ah, damn it.
John,
What's
up, buddy?
Father?
So you're just wrapping up, aren't you?
We can go a little bit longer.
No, don't
I'm sorry.
worry about it. If you're
Did
wrapping up,
Spidey
you're
go?
wrapping up.
I'm sorry.
I just noticed you were still going.
You know what? Give us a couple of minutes here so I can do some of these shout outs that we need to do for some of our
Yeah,
friends.
do it,
I've been
man.
pasting them in here and there, but I haven't been the best associate producer. I'm sorry, Steve.
It's all
So-
good. Big Daddy K says good old Star Trek is the best Star Trek.
I agree.
GRC, the virgin of Man-O-Rama. New Trek sucks. God damn it.
He's
I'm
right
gonna
about
just
that,
say
though.
Moria. I don't know. Unless I hear her say her name in person.
Moira Kitty, I believe.
Yeah.
Why don't you ask her to spell it out phonetically?
Just above,
Hey, Al.
my name sounds like Mora.
Moira.
Mora.
A few
Did I
just
get it
above.
right?
But
Mora
GRC
is-
says Moira.
Well,
He's
here's
a
the thing.
feisty kid.
It depends what continent you're in, right? Because the Europeans take the second vowel first. So in Europe, my name is Tag.
So real
Well-
quick, how's the Saturday test going? Does it look like you guys are having a good time and etc.?
It's fun. It's fun. Big Dave.
Hey, was that
sorry.
Spidey?
He said Big Daddy K. Ha ha ha. You know, at this point in my life, Big Daddy, Big Dave, it all sounds the same.
Hey Tig,
Yeah. what's
The
up?
Virgin said, "Oh my gosh, has anyone seen Hook? Who hasn't?"
Yeah, exactly. You know,
I've never seen Hook.
You've never
So-
seen Hook?
wait, the which Hook, the original or the newer
You
one?
know which one it is. The Robin Williams.
Which one with Julia
yes.
Roberts?
Oh man, I
exactly.
gotta watch that again.
Yeah.
You haven't seen that one, Teague?
I have this rule: don't see any movie with Julia Roberts because it's always terrible.
No, you need to see Hook, dude. It's actually
Nah.
pretty
You
good.
need okay.
Yes,
Nope.
I
Time
agree.
out. That's gonna be the
No.
fourth movie on the movie night that we're gonna watch. Is Hook?
Seriously,
Yep,
Hook is,
yep,
the,
yes.
is the exception that proves
Awesome.
the rule. It's a Julia Roberts movie that doesn't suck. Is she maybe not in it much? Is that what it is?
Part of it.
Trust me on this, Teague.
I trust
We're gonna pop you cherry on this one.
Eh,
My Julia Roberts cherry. The only Julia Roberts movie I ever saw was the one where she's a hooker with Richard Gere. I'm not sure what it's called.
Pretty Woman.
Really?
I thought Working Chick. Yeah, Pretty Chick.
Yes, Pretty Woman.
eh.
I will say this.
That Pretty Woman.
I
yeah.
will. Oh wait, hold up. Big Dave. Sorry. I'm just gonna say Big Daddy Cave because that sounds so much fun to say. Big Daddy Cave, how you doing? He says, "Hey, Rancor Steve. Hey, are y'all looking forward to Dune Part 2? I keep rewatching Part 1. I've yet to see Part 1, but I want to watch.
It's
I
good.
heard it's. I heard Part
Part-
1's good, and I will probably end up seeing all those.
Can I
And
weigh in on that one? I will not see that movie until I have knowledge that Part 2 is at least half finished because I saw
I
what happened
don't-
with this other. That guy fucked us with Blade
It's
Runner.
good.
He gave us half a story. But the Blade
Meh.
Runner with Dune, you can go read the book. You know how it ends. Denny
Yeah, but we know
Villeneuve
that
has
there's more
twice in a
coming.
row- Twice in a row, Denny Villeneuve has made half a movie. Blade Runner was half a movie, and we were supposed to get a sequel. So the whole movie, like, it's questionable whether that movie even makes sense. Fuck.
Oh, there it
We
is
know
right
there's
there.
more coming.
So she says JRC is right about the name, or he. I don't know. Just guessing. But yeah, it's Moira Kitty.
okay, Warrior.
GRC is
We know there's more coming. I'm excited.
Are you guys talking about
So-
the like
Dune
2022 Dune?
Hell
The
yeah.
1985 Dune is the best sci-fi
I never saw
production
that.
of Dune. It's better than
If-
any other Dune you're gonna get.
If
I
that's
heard-
all
no.
you have in your thing arsenal, okay, fine, great. It's fantastic. You
I'm
know what?
allowed to be
But
wrong
if
sometime.
you have not seen the new Dune, okay, I'm not
At this
gonna
point, I
like.
might as well see it. But I mean, honestly,
I'm
I
not gonna
do feel-
disparage you for that.
My feeling
Yep,
is that
if
the
you-
director kind of held us up with I got half a movie. If you go see it, I'll make the rest twice now. And I resent that about him. Maybe the movie
Fine.
is good. But you see where I'm going with this? It's like, here's half a
No,
story.
Yes,
see it.
I see what you're saying, but like, no, that's why I'm saying. I'm like, This is why I'm excited for the new Dune, not the old Dune.
So on that note, I love when T goes on a rant. He's like, "This is how I feel." You just need an old man in the background. You know, that's what you got to do.
That's what we have to remember. The Teague is
Get off
actually
my lawn!
much older than he looks and quite insane. I was born in 1653 in Scotland, and I will be on top of the Silver Cup Studios building later with my sword, taking on all other immortals. All right, I can see that building from my house too.
Yeah. What? Who?
The movie Highlander. Have you ever seen? You've never seen it? That's one of the best movies ever. Yeah, Highlander with
I've seen Highlander.
Christopher
I will say this.
That building up the street from me.
So I popped up late last night after I was at a Shriners meeting, and I ended up watching The Rocketeer, and I put on the Rocketeer helmet. I actually have a prop.
Nice.
Wannabe. I don't know if it's someone made it, and I got it as a Christmas gift, and I put that on, and I was like, I'm the Rocketeer. And then my dog looked at me like, no, you're not. And I was like, shut up. Yes, I am. Which my dog is like laying down here. I'm like, she's like, I don't want anything to do with what you're talking about. But that's another. I have a
Paul Sorvino.
That's a goddamn dog's problem, not you.
I love the part where Paul Sorvino finds out he's working with the Germans. He's like, "Hey, I may not keep an honest book, but I ain't down with no Nazis. Go fuck yourselves." And he pulls out his gun. He is fucking awesome. Paul Sorvino is awesome. Or was.
Yeah.
R.I.P. the great Paul Sorvino, crime actor.
So we're gonna do during our Man-O-Rama. I don't know if it was a Goatfather or UT that came up with the name for it. The Real or something like that. I don't know.
Probably Tig.
But the Rocketeer is going to be on that list of things. So
nice.
The movies that we watch are very much guy movies, like Tropic Thunder, Blazing Saddles, The Town, Rocketeer, probably the greatest comic book. Oh fuck yeah, we're gonna watch Commando, dude.
I want to watch Commando. Bennett. That's all I have to say, Bennett.
So this is going to be where we watch movies that are terrible that guys like. And I will give out for every guy who picks a movie, they have to provide the movie, and we're going to watch it. And this
Who's seen Cuffs?
What?
Cuffs.
Cuffs?
Yeah.
That was when everyone was doing cop and dog movies, right? Like it's like Beethoven.
Oh, yeah.
And like that Tom Hanks movie where he's a cop with a dog.
Shut up. No. Cuffs is Christian Slater, and he talks to the camera, and he makes Deadpool look like a fucking fool because he talks to the camera, and it's so goddamn good because when he does it, it's not generic. Like it feels like, what do you call it? It feels good for the movie, and when he does, it's not generic, but it feels really good for the movie, and but at the same time, it carries the movie over for the next part of the thing, plot, but it doesn't feel heavy-handed, and
I'm sorry, his best movie is always going to be Legend of Billie Jean.
Unless you've seen Cuffs, I don't agree.
Stand up and fight the enemy.
Anyway, I thought I would just drop in and see how your Saturday little test is going. Is this something you think you may do again, or?
I think the more podcast, it might be something new that we're going to be doing. There's different shows I'm going to do, This is fun. It's not with Man-O-Rama. It's more of like, this is what we're gonna do. This is more laid back. It's just guys.
Well, don't tell me that.
Yeah, playing games. Ha 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 ha. And yeah, it's. I think the movie one. I don't know if we're gonna do it on YouTube or Rumble. We might do it on both. I'm not sure. But how we're gonna set it up is there's a I think Teague or Goat knows the link, the site that we can watch it all together, and so everyone
It's
watch with
Cosme, baby.
Yeah, so it's the Cosby, or is this the Cosby or
the Cosme? It's easy as hell too. It's just a browser extension. It's just like you click it and you have it.
So the gist of it is we would have it showing. We can't show it really on YouTube or, hey Carla, hey, I just made it. What's going on? Well, we're thinking about shooting off a bunch of fireworks and drinking a bunch of beer and whiskey. No,
I think we're obligated to do 5 minutes worth of humor for Carla Burton. She came back from church.
I know, right?
The rest
I will say this
broadcast from church
Carla
to us.
Burton,
what does that say?
Carla Burton to me is like the mother of internet. Like, she will correct me on a lot of things. Like, she's like the mother of all, and I want to get her on Man-O-Rama. And I know on we missed Mother's Day, and I had a whole thing planned out for Mother's Day, and it just never worked out. Where we'd have a bunch of moms come on the show and talk about, like, this is what I wanted in my son, and some moms were like, this is not how it planned out to be. But I just wanted to do
my father.
for moms. And we never even got a chance to say thanks to all the moms for Mother's Day. So even though this is probably about a month later, thanks to all the moms out there. I appreciate you. Even my mom who adopted me. Yeah, good luck, Mom. This is who you raised, a toxic masculine guy. But the show, the movie one, we would have a link for everyone in the chat to join us to watch the movie with us, and we would be live and we do a commentary of the movie. And the first movie is going to be Tropic Thunder in July, and I'm not sure if that's going to be on Rumble or YouTube, but
I suggest Rumble, because when I share the screen on my show, I get a massive donut hole in the middle of my views. Like it looks like
a donut hole.
When people go into the Cosme to watch that, you lose them as a viewer.
Yeah. And I think Rod had a jet out. Yeah. So I'm going to put a link into Rod's stuff. He had a jet out real quick. Let me pull that up and I'll post that for you guys to check
Rod's
out.
back.
Rod. He is?
He's back.
He's back. Rod, I just put a link into your stuff. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for joining on the first podcast. You're fun to hang out with, and yeah. But yeah, if you had to head out, that's totally cool. It's an unscripted podcast, that's for sure. Jesus. But
hey, Rod, you take care, man. We'll see you when we see you.
He's probably.
I think he's trying to say sorry because he's having audio or technical problems, is why he's apologizing in the chat. And no need to be sorry, Rod. It happens to the best.
Yeah, you're all good.
Yeah, we blink twice if you're okay.
Yep. He's alive.
But with the movie channel, it's gonna be mainly us reviewing like guy movies. That's the whole thing. It's not just like, yay, this is fun. We're not watching Twilight or Walk to Remember, which, by the way, Walk to Remember, I do like that movie. That's the only chick flick movie I like, is Walk to Remember, just for one specific scene. And maybe Mandy Moore. That's probably the main reason why.
I recommend We Are Marshall is a good movie too.
Oh yeah. But that's going to be fun. This podcast, which is just off the cuff, just us talking. The Man-O-Rama, which is a sports show that we're gonna do, different things, and yeah,
We're gonna
um,
test the limits of our fans by taking them to a completely different genre by talking about sports. But we assure you, we are just as insane and funny when we talk about baseball, and we will try extra hard to be entertaining on that one. But you know what? You can broaden your horizons with this one because you can go to a party and people will be talking about Tim McGraw, and now you'll be able to say, "Did you know his father was in the 1969 New York Mets?" You'll always be able to do that. And, I'll give people a tip. You want to win money in bets at bars? Bet people who the catcher with the most home runs for the New York Mets is, because it's actually the most playoff home runs for the New York Mets ever was. It's Yogi Berra. He took one at bat, but he has 40 postseason home runs.
yeah.
As a Yankee,
We don't care about the Yankees in this area. That's for sure. No, I'm just kidding. It's just the Red Sox. If you guys want to check out Man-O-Rama, it is on Rumble. I will send out the link right now. And that is every Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific time to about 9 p.m. Pacific time. And it's hosted by our great goat father. And yeah, you can check us out there. I don't know when. I think Rod wants to jump back in. Is he there? Can you talk?
I'm here. Yeah,
I posted a link of your book. If you want to do a shout out for your book. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and dip out. I'm gonna relax for the rest of the night. Just wanted to see how your experiment was going. Yeah, I'll see you guys.
It's fun, dude.
I can't wait for the next update on Captain of Industry. I want to see some screenshots.
But dude, this one literally just came out like days ago.
Have you stopped playing since it dropped?
I don't know. You tell me.
Have you done it? Have you slept? Have you slept?
What is sleep? Sleep is for fleshbacks, not for robots. Anyway, guys. You have a good night. I'll see you either on Thursday, Saturday, or both. Awesome. I don't know. We'll find out.
Oh, yeah. Goat Father, we love you. And for people who don't know, because he's so quiet, there's no better friend or greater guy than the Goat Father. He really is just about.
Yeah.
You're just saying that because I have an excavator and, a bunch of shovels and stuff, and it made your problems go away.
You also introduced me to Dark Helmet, who's been a major part of saving Star Trek and been a great friend to me. So,
just in case I'm joking, in case anybody watching thinks otherwise.
Yeah, no, Goat Father would never hurt me. If he was going to hurt me, no one would ever find out about it or find my body.
Oh, I'm not saying it would be you. It's your problem. No problem, Carla.
It was great seeing you. Thanks for stopping by, bro.
Good night, guys. I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Peace.
Yes.
I'm honored. I was on the first ever More podcast.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah. And so are you.
Yeah.
So, Rod, is there anything before you have to head out? Because I know you probably have work and all that stuff. Is there anything you want to plug? I know I plugged in your link to your book.
Thanks, brother. No, much appreciated. Oh, really? Oh, awesome. Okay, because I was going to put that up. Yes, Okay, but my book is called See Through Love, and it's called that because it's about Spanish teacher who can become invisible, but it happens also when she is aroused, and as a result, it shall we say private life, and it's made life hard for her, and she meets the new gym teacher who, well, as a result, she turns invisible, and Yeah. Anyway, like that's like a part of like chapter 3. As a result, the two of them, like began a relationship, and as a result, it works out good. But like his secret past comes back to haunt him because he used to be a spy for like the Canadian government, and
Ooh.
yeah, and that moves on to like second part of the thing, like, but like as a result, like Carolina Dominguez finds her life, with secret powers, government conspiracies, and like and it moves on from there. Like, wow, I don't mind like bragging, like it's a good book,
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, I've got to move on. So, like, we'll talk to you in the future sometime.
All right. Sounds good. If you guys want to watch or watch, wow, jeez, man, this is what happens when you do film all day. If you guys want to check out
Yes.
Rod Thunderheart's book, go check it out, buy it. This guy's
Thanks.
great. Yeah, dude.
Renaissance
Thanks for coming on
man.
the show, man.
Renaissance man Rod Thunderheart. Is there anything
yeah.
this man can't do?
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys. We'll see you later.
Yeah. All right. You take care, man.
Later, buddy. That was
if
great.
you-
That upped our manliness factor by how much?
A lot.
Yeah.
If you want to check out Man-O-Rama every Thursday, it's on Rumble, right there in the link that I just sent, and you can check us out every Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific time to about 9 or so. Sometimes we get a little bit past, but there's a lot more guys on the show, and it's really fun. We are going to be doing a movie night kind of thing on the weekends. I don't know if it's going to be once a month or every other week. I don't know. But that'll be kind of a laid back chill. You'll see Gary Ambrosia possibly on that show. Maybe on when we do Tropic Thunder, which is one of my favorite comedies. And yeah.
I love the part where he's in the rain watching Star Trek on his iPod.
Oh, yeah. It's funny,
It's
dude.
hilarious.
It
And they're
is
typing in the
funny.
Star Trek. The first 5 minutes of that movie with the fake trailers, it took till the third one, so I was like, wait a minute. Because Hollywood would
Yeah.
do shit that weird.
Oh, yeah. So I'm glad for everyone to join us on the first ever podcast of More. You guys, it's awesome. Yeah, I know you got a Jets. You got a Jets and Yankees.
At
Figure it
least
out.
sometimes I get to win, right? All summer long, life's great. All winter long, it
Yeah.
sucks.
You might as well, yeah. But thanks for T, Canadian Spider-Man, the Go-Father, Rod, Jeff for joining in. You guys were awesome. Thank you very much for making this happen. And we'll see you guys next time. I don't know when we're gonna do another podcast, but we'll make one out.
It'll happen when it happens. And hopefully you'll be on Saving Star Trek with me soon.
Yeah. So you guys have a good weekend, the rest of your weekend. I'll see you guys on
Be
Thursdays on
safe.
Rumble.
Be safe.
yeah.
Don't drink and drive because that's dumb. And
Yeah.
disrespectful. And do your best to stay out of trouble. But have fun. Have fun.
On that note, always have fun and just know who knows. All right. See you guys.